99 problems, and I still kept it 100. Yeah, it's been a long time coming. They ain't covering my cloth, they tugging. Putting up numbers, 99 problems, and I still kept it 100. Yeah, who don't play, 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 who don't play.
Music licensing reimagined.
Play, who don't play, 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 who don't play, 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 who don't. Long time coming, black on the bottom of my feet from running. Cataracts under my eyes from hustling. Going from buying to selling to customers. Run up the business, God is my witness. Sun up the sun up from Monday to Sunday. We maxing the limits. My mind running like Tom Cruise on an action movie. Moving the mission, they say that I'm tripping. I've been told I need a vacation. I'm finessing a visit.
What is up, everybody? Welcome to DFS by the Numbers, and welcome to Stat Diggers for UFC Vegas 114. We have Kevin Vallejos going against Josh Emmett. We are back in the Apex for a 14-fight card, and a card that on paper, Wheezy, it looks like a very good card. It looks like a very violent card, but the problem is, in the year of 2026, there has been absolutely zero violence to speak of. It's decisions after decisions after decisions, but we got some violent fighters, man. We got Jose Delgado, 100% finish rate. We got Cudalaba, very violent. We got Jillian Robertson. We got Vallejos Emmett. We got Petrino Aspen. Bruno Silva is on the card. We got some very violent fighters. So I'm really hoping that the drought of violence finally comes to an end. And I'm hoping it starts in the Apex, which is a place of violence. We got the small cage. It's known for that violence. And I'm hoping this week is when the violence drought ends. Weezy, what is up? Are you looking forward to UFC Vegas 114?
Yeah, there's a lot of fun fights on this card, and they added a couple of them pretty recently, like Eric Anders and Tvaris was added fairly recently, as was Orolbai versus Curtis. And then you've got the rematch of Sam Hughes and Piero Rodriguez. They were well matched the first time. You've got Bia Mosquita on this card, Elijah Smith on this card, and then Umarc on this card. Lemos Robertson. There's some really good fights. Unfortunately, the favorite in the main event is minus 650, Brady. Minus 650's maybe a little bit of a squash match here as Josh Emmett's starting to age. But other than that, I think it's a pretty fun card. And I get to get another fight prediction wrong in a Charles Johnson fight. I'm always fired up for that. And I just got to start betting on the exact opposite of what I think is going to happen in every Charles Johnson fight. And then I'll have some extra money to kick around every week. But 14 fights to break down. So, for those of you who haven't seen the banner on the bottom of the screen here, we got to stop having fun here on Stat Diggers, Brady. We're having entirely too much fun. The shows are going too long.
Yeah.
And it's got to stop. Laughing time is over. We got to be more business-like. We're trying to trim this down to 12 minutes for the whole show, so no fun. Only just, pinpoint analysis of these fights going forward. Am I right?
I don't know, man. I wasn't planning on having fun tonight, but after this dono, maybe we got to have some fun. That's
Let's
a $50 dono from the Carrillo. I think that calls for some fun tonight.
Maybe we can put that no fun thing on hold for 1 week, thanks to Carrillo. Our guy, the Carrillo, been a supporter of the show for so long, Brady.
Yeah, shout out Carrillo. He hit an 8-legger for $15.45. Big ups to the Carrillo, $50. Appreciate that. So yeah, it looks like we're having fun tonight, guys.
Let's go.
And you can thank the Carrillo for that. So PSA, we're gonna hold that off till London next week. So London, there will be no fun, but tonight we are going to have some fun. So what is up, everybody in the chat? And I don't know, I think Twitter's still being weird. So I just put out a tweet. Are they just never going to figure it out, Weezy? Are they just never going to figure it out?
The message on StreamYard is 21 days old at this point.
I know. It's getting ridiculous at this point. You pay like $500 almost a year for StreamYard, and they do this to you? It's sickening.
Just crazy. I know, man. And this is what we deal with every week, That's why, we wanted to stop having fun here.
Exactly.
All
right, let's get into the chat. We got Dix Insider, Brady, Wheezy. I try to warn everyone that the house, Jason House, always wins. That's a good one. That is true. The house always wins. I could feel it in my plums that Dante and Cody both manage by him. We're going to drag this to decision to cash a plus 600. Yeah, Dixon called it, and he nailed it to a T. Big shout out to Dixon for that call, because I didn't think there was a snowball's chance in hell that fight was going the distance. Especially with Cody coming off of a knockout loss, and I thought Dante was going to knock him out, but it was probably funny seeing my reaction for that fight. Weezy on the Fight Companion. It's like, what the hell are you doing, Dante Johnson? What are you doing? Like, all you had to do was land a couple punches. Cody was doing the corpse guard, covering up the Anthony Smith. All you had to do was punch him. You know, the ref was looking close, and what does he do? He tries to wrap up his neck for 3 minutes. I couldn't believe that, dude.
Yeah, we were losing our minds because, you know, I know that you had round one, or, you know, fight ends by KO. I think. Yeah. I know I had Dante Johnson in a parlay for him to win in rounds 1 or 2. And yeah, like sometimes, you know, Dixon came into my chat while I was doing Ask Weezy on fight day, and he was like, I'm telling you, man, this one's going over. And I'm like, man, if that one goes over, you know, like they immediately they should just call the FBI. There's no way this fight should go over if you've seen these guys fight. You know, it's only when a couple of opponents, you know, like Meconico and Dumas, who fight at a much slower pace, you know, we're taking him over. I mean, and then it just, you could tell about halfway through the first round. I was like, oh my God, he's not really serious about getting him out of there. So yeah, that's what happens. You know, that's what happens when somebody's minus 950 and you know it's a bad bet. You know, like if you're laying minus 950 on a guy with less than 20 minutes in professional, you know, MMA cage time, you know, like you really don't understand how to make money long-term betting, you know, but all of us made the mistake. I know you did. I know I did. So yeah. It's frustrating when it happens because, you know, sometimes you take that stylistic read and you're like, of course Dante Johnson is going to finish this guy. But now he just kind of exposed himself, you know, as somebody that's extremely inexperienced. And without that power, he really doesn't have much of a minute winning skill set. So if God, condolences to the Cody Brundage bettors. Oh, can you imagine holding a plus 600 money line ticket and then watching that bum Johnson actually get his hand raised for a fight that he lost?
Yeah, he lost.
And you know, like really kind of screwed everybody over that believed in him there. Because, I mean, like they drove that money line to an over 90% implied. And that's how he fought.
And did you see the clip of what he said after the fight?
Yeah, I think I did. He was like, "That's what you get for gambling and stuff." And it's like, well,
like,
you're gambling with your career fighting like that, nephew.
I know. He was like, you know? Basically, screw the gamblers. He's like, you guys are just salty you lost money. Like that's a great way to grow your fan base.
Oh yeah.
And plus, he lost to Cody Brundage. The judges got it wrong.
Cody Brundage, yeah. He lost the fight to Cody Brundage, and he showed really poor finishing instincts there in that second round when he pretty much had him out of there. But I thought he lost the first and the third rounds.
Yeah, I thought he did too. For the love of God, cut Tercio. That fight was hilarious. Tercio started off the fight, stomping on the cage, like, come on. It was hilarious. And then, he looked awful, but Montez looked really good.
That was great fight, though. That was a great fight.
It was great. Come on. But yeah, that might be the last we see of Ricky Tercios. We got Carlos in the building. We got a duct tape. Ricky Tercios is his mouth. I agree. Johnson needs help this week. That was ass. I mean, that fight took years off my life. Years. And like, I don't know if you guys could tell. I'm 27 years old. I literally have gained 10 years over the last couple months. I look like a 37-year-old now. Either Dante Johnson or Cody Garbrandt's nutsack. Yeah, poor Cody Garbrandt's nutsack, man. That was insane. White House card, get some help. Yeah, me and Weezy talked about that a little bit on the Fight Companion. Who is that picture of?
That's Gilton and Rosas, I think.
Yeah, it is. That's hilarious. We got Dim in the building. Have a good show, guys. I'll catch the start and the finish tomorrow. It's 2 a.m. here. Yeah, get some sleep. Enjoy it. Dante Johnson, even though he won, needs the most help. Unexcusable performance. And I saw on MMA Digest today, Dante saying that's what you get for betting the under. Bible says gambling is wrong. Yep, like I said, that's a great way to grow the fan base, Dante. To not only put on a shit performance, but to come out there and shit on the people that were backing you.
That were backing you. I love that. Yeah.
Yeah. I just want one card in 2026 to not give me AIDS, for the love of God. I mean, my AIDS are past full blown. What's worse than full blown AIDS, Wheezy?
Oh God. Well, I mean, I think it's Liberace or Easy E full blown AIDS. Like there's full blown AIDS, and then there's like you're dead in like 48 hours. Full blown AIDS.
Yeah, I'm getting there. I'm certainly getting
Yeah.
there. Dante Johnson is the GOAT, future middle. We found Dante Johnson's burner account. What's up, Dante? Good to see you in here, buddy. Congratulations on your win. I'm calling it now. This Apex card will be 10 times better than UFC 326. Oh, that's not a hot take for. I think the Sam Hughes fight is going to be better than UFC 326, and that predicting 9 finishes out of 14. I hope so, Forrest. I mean, I really hope so. I don't want to. I need some violence. We haven't had one violent card this year. Not one. Has anyone heard from Michael Johnson's nephew? No, I've not. I don't know. Sad to say, but Max Holloway needs some help, almost like he has zero idea what kind of takedowns were coming his way and how to defend them. Yeah, a couple people do need help. Who needs help? I wasn't going to do the poll because, like I said, we weren't going to have fun, but since Carrillo did the dono, I think we got to have fun this week. So, yeah, I'll put up a poll, Weezy. Who needs help?
Dante Johnson probably needs some help. Max Holloway probably needs some help. Let me see what else.
Who needs to?
Dude, what about Rafael Tobias?
Oh, yeah, he needs some help.
0 takedown attempts in round 1 against that bum DR Nurgashai. He gets a takedown with 5 seconds left in the 3rd round and almost submits the guy. But he doesn't wrestle really before that. Like absolutely craziness. What else? Who else could possibly need some help?
I guess
Cody Garbrandt's nutsack needs a little bit of help, man. Michael Johnson violently knocked out for the 3rd time in his career. I remember when Emmett nuked him. I remember when CDF nuked him, and now Drew Dober absolutely nuked him. Yeah, I mean, like, what? And I mean, can we just? What the hell happened in that Dober Johnson fight? How does Mario Stanfeld go out there and not only 5 hours before the fight takes place, actually, like say some shit that like I don't know how it could be substantiated, but said that Michael Johnson's nephew was kidnapped by the Gangster Disciples gang in St. Louis, and that he was going to lose by 2nd round knockout. Now, man, saying some shit like that 5 hours before the fight takes place is extremely out of pocket. But to be right about not only the method, but the round, and to see how much money came in on Drew Dober.
Yeah, that's crazy.
And then what is, like it's Dana White's job. It's his job to go out there and say like, hey, man, they already did it in another Michael Johnson fight, irregular line movement. We don't want another Delgarian situation. And then this dude goes out there and calls the round and the method, and it happens. And it's not just that. It's those two things combined with the fact that Dober went from plus 100 on Friday night to minus 200 by the time the fucking fight happened, Brady.
Crazy.
How does that fight not get pulled?
I don't know.
How does that fight not get pulled? I mean, like there are people, that work for these gambling, like what do they call it? The gambling integrity websites and stuff like that, who are like, hey, like this looks horrible. This looks horrible when you get a move of 25% in implied probability over a 72-hour stretch and bordering on 30%. And, going from plus 100 to minus 200 on fight day before the fights even kick off. I mean, obviously there was something going on. And then this dude goes out there and calls it to a T. So I mean, I think Dana White needs some help because they're still openly allowing potentially, and I'm not saying that was fixed because it sure as hell didn't look fixed, Brady,
He
right?
sold it. He sold it big time. He did
Dude,
good job.
if I'm doing a work, I'm not letting somebody knock me out like that. But like, God, like Dana's got to be so mad at that dude for making that tweet and then being 100% right. He's got to be so mad. And then somebody brings it up to him at the press conference.
Yep.
And I think, and didn't he just flat out lie and said that he tweeted that after the result of the fight or some shit, which obviously it was time stamped. It was there for everyone to read.
Yeah. That's crazy. So Dana, they asked Dana a question about it.
So yeah, he like Dana brought up the tweet and I think he said that it was not credible and like they came out after the fact or something like that when it was anybody with eyes could see that tweet not only happened before the Dober Johnson fight happened, but it happened before any of the fights that day happened.
Yeah, I think it got posted maybe 3 or 4 hours, maybe 5 hours before. So
yeah. So once again, the integrity of the gambling is not being protected by people in the UFC. And the only fight that probably didn't have anything going on, which was Johnson Hernandez, they stopped that fight. But they didn't stop the Lucas Almeida Aswell fight. They didn't stop the Bulgarian Del Valle fight. They didn't stop this fight. I mean, it's pretty crazy, man.
Yep. And then I saw Dante Johnson went to the steakhouse after his fight.
Was somebody feeding him the meal through a straw?
He had a big steak.
Oh man, yeah, that was wild, dude. He got knocked out cold. That was vicious.
I said Dante Johnson.
Oh, Dante Johnson. I thought
not Michael Johnson. Dante.
Yeah, Dante. Yeah,
Dante was
him and his boy JC talking about the horrors of gambling, laughing their asses off over a nice medium rare porterhouse. God bless them.
Your neighbor is here for the fun. Well, hey, there's gonna be some fun, and it's all thanks to Carrillo. Smash the like button. Agreed. You guys have been killing it on the likes lately. I think we almost had 500 likes on the fight companion on Saturday, which is crazy.
Yeah.
No violence, no bonus. Yep. The host was replaced. Yeah, look what these fights are doing to me, Weezy. Last night I shaved my entire beard off.
Yeah, I know, dude. You look like Matthew McConaughey in Dallas Buyers Club. You've got the AIDS. It's kicking your ass, and you're probably not going to be walking this earth much longer.
I almost shaved my head. That's how bad it was. Almost shaved my hair off too. That's how bad it's getting, guys. Turns out that Cody's 3-leg was to fade the Cody's. Well, Garbrandt won, kinda, but he got his hand raised. Brundage lost. Brundage, I thought, won. And then who was the other Cody? Durden probably did the worst out of all of them, but yeah. The Cody parlay did not hit. The fun's coming, man. The fun's here. It's all Damian Penis's fault. No, Damian Penis had a great performance against Wes Party Time Schultz. We got the grill saying, let's tighten up, boys, and handle business to stack the bag. Let's do it. When Dante Johnson goes to a split decision with Brundage, that's when the fun stops. You got that right. Are we having fun yet? Yeah, we're having a little bit of fun. Has Kerry Hatley been arrested yet? No, he was actually reffing fights the other night. I was like, what? They let him back in there? Didn't they just kill that, the muscle hamster?
Yeah, he killed the muscle hamster. They knew he had a brain, and he had a brain bleed. He had pull out of the Della Maddalena fight with a brain bleed, and they let him take that extra. I mean, come on.
Yeah. We have to be honest, Dante is way worse than we thought he was. Way worse, man. We got Daniel Forrest with the $2 dono. Appreciate you, Daniel, saying, I vote fun tonight. Uncle Weezy's story time. Maybe we can get a story time later. We'll see. That's a lot of fun, though. That's a lot of fun.
That is a lot of fun.
Maybe if we get a sign up on Underdog, you could tell a story. I think that'd be
fun.
fun.
Yeah. You know what? I saw one of our chatters here has got the University of Illinois symbol there. And I got a great University of Illinois story that involves my fraternity house's walkout when I was a pledge. So yeah, if we can get one underdog sign up using code DFSBTN, I will tell my freshman year in college walkout story going down to University of Illinois.
There it is. Yeah, we got a couple signups last week on the Fight Companion. That was cool. And then Wheezy actually sang a song. It was amazing.
And I can't sing. I cannot sing at all. But there is one song that I can actually sing, and it's the Chicago Bears fight song. We had some fun with that, and people signed up, so it was good.
Yeah. So yeah, sign up using code DFSBTN, and Uncle Wheezy will tell a story. Why not? I think that's fair. Smash the like button, folks. Agreed. I bet 5K to win 4K on fight ends and KO under 2 on the Dober MJ was like minus 122 free money, and I couldn't be happier. Yeah, I was looking at the fight ends by KO too. I kept it very light at 326 though, but yeah, I like that play. At this rate, we can all retire by the end of the year if we bet fight goes to decision in every fight. Yeah, you got that right. It's been a lot of decisions. We're breaking. I'd be shocked if we broke a like record on this card. I'm assuming a lot of people just don't care about this card at all. Whenever a minus 950 fights, betting them by decision. Yeah, I mean, I saw a Teba Godier take Poliev to decision. We saw Mikhail Olazechuk take Marc-Andre Barrio decision. Daniil Donchenko take Morona to decision, and it's like happening every single week. So this week it's going to be Bia Mosquita winning her very first decision against the ultra tough Montserrat Rendone, plus 300. We got the bookie in the building. I'm in this. B baby, how about that Luke Fernandez I warned y'all about? Yeah, he was looking incredible, and then he got caught, but he'll be back. But yeah, good call there. We got Dan from Have the Battle. Smash the like button for my brother Brady and my uncle Wheezy. Appreciate you, Dan. Dan just got his prediction video out. I saw tonight. So after this, guys, go check out Dan's prediction video. Dante, John's okay. All right. He seems really sensitive, so hopefully he doesn't watch this show. I don't want to hurt his feelings, so probably stop talking about him. Give that bum Dante. Hey, you're gonna hurt his feelings. Stop it. Just quit. Facts, can't wait for Dante to get smoked. Jeez. I have more Brady after that fight. Yes. How is Strickland not the main event? White House. I don't know, dude. The White House card, it shocked me that Kyle Dawkins is on there. And what is even more shocking was Ayman Zahabi. I think that was even more shocking. We got Fluffy. God, Fluffy. We tough fight against Strickland the other week. Hopefully you're all recovered and good, man. But yeah, full blown AIDS, man. I mean, Lazy. It's the least violent year in UFC history, and Sean Strickland's out there getting finishes. Like what?
I know.
Going on? Dan Ige's out there getting finished. Like what?
Yeah. Guys on? That you would the only finishes that are coming are against guys that you would think would never get finished.
Exactly.
Which is just, I mean, it's horrifying for gamblers, because like every fight that you think is going to finish winds up going to decision. And then everyone where you're like, okay, fighter A is so durable and they don't finish much. So this one's going to decision and bam, they're all getting fit. I'm surprised Marlon Vera wasn't unconscious on the canvas a couple of weeks ago.
I know. And then these chinny fighters with no durability, like Marc-Andre Barrio got marked by Stoltzfus is now all of a sudden eating flush bombs to the head. Like what's
from Oleksiejczuk.
Make it make sense, please. For the love of God, make it make sense again. We got Bub Collins with the $4.99. With all these donos, we're going to have some fun tonight, man. We got Bub Collins saying, sup, homies. Uncle Wheezy, last video mentioned doing lots of acid in college. Can you give us one of your most memorable college nights? Smash the like.
Jeez, I mean, like the reality is like there were so many memorable nights in college. We went so hard, so many nights, but like I went on a lot of road trips, and the road trip stories were always best. It's always when you're away from home where the shenanigans just kind of get multiplied by 10. Yeah, like I said, if we get 2 signups, we'll do 2 story times with Uncle Wheezy. I could
Wow.
tell you about the time we almost got arrested in a hotel in Dallas, Texas, Brady. That
Okay.
happened. Yeah, and it's hilarious how we almost got caught. Well, I mean, actually, how we did get kicked out of the hotel and caught, but not put in jail was hilarious. But yeah, I mean, like, it's always the college stories are my favorite. It's I had so much fun there.
All right, that's fair. So one sign up for one story, and then 2 signups for 2 stories. So yeah, guys, if you guys don't have Underdog, check it out. Use that code DFSBTN. You'll get $75 free when you place your first $5 lineup. So you get $75 and a story from Uncle Weezy. I think that's more than fair. Luke needs a lot of help. Yeah, he got knocked out brutally by Rodolfo Bellato. Dante, William Knight, Johnson. I mean, that was worse than William Knight, in my opinion.
And they have a similar build.
Yeah, it was just horrible, dude. It was just horrible. Dominant performance by Charles, but boring ASF to watch. And then the worst part was like the whole third round cut out. It's like not only was I not enjoying the fight, but we lost the whole third round. I'm giving Weezy the women's lock of the week because I know too much. I wonder if it's Montserrat Rendone, potentially.
I wonder. Let's see, because because we got Sam Hughes versus Piera, we got Montserrat versus Bia, and we've also got Jillian Robertson versus Amanda Lemos. 3 women's fights this week.
Saying the matchmakers need help. I mean, the matchmakers are trying their best to get finishes. I mean, some of these they're doing all these squash matches. They're giving guys and girls layups, Weezy, but they're just not doing the job. It's like they're going out there sparring as minus 1,000 favorites.
Yeah,
it's wild to me. Just no urgency out there. Luke Fernandez is a bum. Oh, come on, man. Come on. Move on, please. We got to get through the chat, live dogs. Oh my gosh, he's really upset. I mean, we do this every show. There hasn't been a show where we haven't done. He must be new. I guess. I don't know. All right. This is my first watching. Never seen the show a single time. Well, like I said, it must be your first time watching. We usually do this for about 45 minutes. We still got another, almost 20 minutes of this. So buckle in. Dante Johnson is on the yacht with Dalgarian Herzog and Michelle Pereira, both the nose for them all. Bruno still have a chance at getting multiple takedowns this week. Yeah, sure he has a chance. We got Marcus with the $5 dono saying, I safely made it back to the ATL after attending one of the worst UFC events. Keep up the good work from Nubian Bookstore, ATL. Appreciate you, Marcus. And yeah, I feel bad, man, for anybody that actually purchased tickets for that card. If I purchased tickets to that card, Weezy, and I sat through those fights, I don't think I'd be here right now. I don't think I'd be here right now. So shout out to Marcus because he's here right now.
Yeah, and unless you had like Oliveira by decision in the main event, there's no way you enjoyed that main event. Like there's no way. So yeah, welcome back to Atlanta, Marcus. Poor Marcus, man, he got hacked. He got hacked, and I've been getting these DMs like so many people in our community have gotten hacked, and then you get that. Please, can you do me a quick favor? Click on this link. I'm up for some kind of award on Spotify. And oh no, Marcus got hacked. Yanni the Greek got hacked. And then you know what they did to Yanni the Greek? They repurposed his account with all of his old followers. And now it's like, yeah, man. And Danny Betts got hacked. My guy Finesse got hacked. There were a bunch of people that got hacked. So if you guys get a DM from me saying that I want you to vote for me in some podcast, please, for the love of God, don't vote for me. I am not in the running for some kind of an award. Just know that I got hacked, and anything that comes from the account from then on is total bullshit.
My rule is just never click any link ever, no matter what, no matter who it's from. Just never. Links are scary, man.
They are definitely, yeah.
Never know what's on the other side of those links.
It's scary. You certainly don't,
man. They can steal your stuff. They can steal your log. I mean, it's terrifying.
Yeah, it really is. So yeah, be very careful what you clink in those in those X chats. That's for sure.
Yeah. We got Narco Cop in the building. What is up, Narco? Herb Dean needs help. The most indecisive ref in the game. He's been rough this year. I mean, typically Herb's like okay, like he'll have some bad moments, but this year he's maybe he's approaching the wash territory. But the thing with these refs, Wheezy, is they take turns being horrible. Like last year it was
Yeah.
Herzog. They're like, Herzog, hey, it's your turn. It's your turn. You're gonna be
Yeah.
horrible this year. Now Herzog's doing fine. Herzog's chilling. And now I think it's Herb Dean's year this year. It's just been bad.
Yeah, and now I don't know who's going to be next. You know,
I mean,
but
Kerry Hatley's bad in every year. So who
he
else?
seems to have a bloodlust.
Yeah, Kerry Hatley's bad. Well, he did stop the Balagio fight, so that was kind of wild to see. He stopped the Fernandez Balagio fight at a good time.
Yeah, Bellato caught him clean.
All right, what else do we have in here? Cody Garbrandt needs more help than everyone on this poll. I mean, he got to win, kind of. I mean, I thought he lost every single round. I thought Cody lost every single round, but apparently 2 judges gave Cody the first, and then 1 judge gave Cody the third round. I mean, I want to see how many strikes Cody landed in that fight. Cody Garbrandt landed only 28 strikes. He got outlanded 59-28 and won the fight. God.
Yeah, 2-point deductions, just craziness.
Yeah, sign up. Get your free $75. Get it. Use that code. Why not? Cody Brundage is a hero. I don't know. Well, he is a hero for cashing my round 1 ticket against Jacob Malkoun. Remember that when he brutally knocked out Malkoun?
Yeah, that was. Yeah, I think I was in. Where was I? I think I was in Greece or I was in France or maybe Italy. I don't remember, but I was somewhere in Europe when that happened. I think I had 1 bet on the card. It was the under 1.5 rounds in Malkoun. It was like a plus 250 or something like that. Yeah. Nice.
Daka Sahabi and Chandler on the supposed best card of all time. Not a bad card objectively, but definitely not what I expected. It's not a horrible card, but it's just the way they hyped it up. They've been hyping it up for months and months and months and months, just hyping it up.
Yeah.
And then they put I'm Zahabi on it. Like come on.
John Jones is saying he's going to be on the card. Conor McGregor is saying they're going to be on the card. And then they're like, and Ayman Zahabi. And you're like, what? Ayman Zahabi? What? We're going to bring back Francimar Barroso next, and put him in, Oh God, it's not great, man. It's just not great. I wonder, they had to have lost somebody, right?
Yeah, they did. And I like this. We should go through the comments twice.
He was talking about something else, evidently. I think I saw him later on mention that like he wasn't talking about us needing to move on. He was talking about me needing to move on from talking about something.
Oh, okay, I got you. But yeah, it's part of the show. We got to check the comments. We got to. Shout out Brady for the free T-shirt during the live fight companions. The face tat would be a look this week. Yeah, I had to take it off though. I'm going to the car dealership tomorrow. My wife's getting a new car, so don't want to go to the car dealership with the face tat. Probably wouldn't get approved, so had to take that off. And I'm probably done with the face tat. Every time I take it off, it's like my face gets all red and it looks like I have a rash. It's just bad. Let's see here. Tobias ruined a lot for me. Oliveira decision is the only reason I went to bed without wanting to die. Also, the only main event I've gotten right so far. Yeah, I know Uncle Weezy was on the Oliveira decision. I'll be honest, I didn't think there was a snowball's chance in hell Oliveira was winning decision. I thought he was very live to finish Max, but if you told me Oliveira was going to get 20 minutes of control time, I would have said, you're crazy. No way. He's 20 minutes of control time and he's not getting a sub. What? I couldn't believe that. But yeah, that the Charles decision prop opened up at plus 1,800. Just crazy. And yes, Blake, I'll be sending out the shirts on Wednesday. I got you, Blake. I'll do more giveaways for probably the 327 card in Miami. I want to go to it, but Miami's so expensive. It's so much fun, but it's so expensive. More comments. This is Live Dog's favorite part. Yeah, a ton of comments tonight. 200 likes, and Uncle Weezy told me he'll put 5 units on Emmett. Oh, God.
Oh, watch him starch him.
Oh God.
Emmett's got heavy hands.
Yeah, 200 likes, and I'll put a unit on Rendone. We got the solution in the building. What is I think Herb was right to take 2 points. I could see him taking like 1 point, but I'll be honest, like the second point deduction, it was kind of weak. It was kind of weak. Uncle Weezy went in when Brady went PP. Need more of that. What does that mean? You went in?
I don't know, but I don't know what PP means.
P, I think. When I went P, I don't know.
But not on today's show, right?
I don't know.
USA.
Brady, my boy, did I not tell you in this chat, Brundage time last weekend before the card started, guy said, if you bet Brundage, you know nothing, and he gets robbed. Yeah, I mean, Brundage won the fight. He won the fight. So you got screwed, man. You got screwed. Iman deserves a big fight. He earned it, but Sandbagger versus O'Malley was better for the White House. Yeah. Yeah, I don't know. I can't believe that. All right, guys, let's do a quick recap of last week. I'll go first because I'll be really quick. I tried to play it as safe as possible last week. I only had like one bet, my most confident pick on the board, which was the Holloway Oliveira fight to finish. And like I said, I just did not expect Charles to get 20 minutes and 49 seconds of control time in a BMF fight. So credit to Oliveira. And big ups to Max Holloway, man. He showed great submission defense. He got his black belt after the fight. So congrats, Max, and enjoy that black belt. Congrats, Charles. Enjoy that BMF belt. And I probably should have been more aggressive on this card because I had a lot of great reads. I called the entire main card and a featured prelim Wheezy. I called Kyle Bahio by decision. I called Raul Rosas Jr. by decision. I picked Drew Dober by second round knockout. I called Rodriguez by finish. I called Cody Garbrandt by decision. But the only bet I had was like the fight doesn't go in the Holloway Oliveira fight. So, yep, it sucks. It's been brutal. It's been non-violent this year. Me and Weezy were talking before the show. Right now, the violence rate is at 40% for the year, which is off by about what 10 or 11%, Weezy, something like that.
Yeah, it's like if you take all fights into consideration, I think it's something like 49% overall. I've got the number up here. Hang on just a second. Since the year, for all men's fights, it's 51%. For all women's fights, it's 35%. But when you add everything in together, because there's so many more men's fights than women's fights, it's 49% overall. And I mean, that's counting 5,788 fights that have been scheduled for 3 rounds. And obviously 5-round fights, they finish at a higher rate. So yeah, we're getting a lot less violence this year so far than we're used to getting.
And we had like all men's fights on Saturday too.
Yep, all men's fights, and men's fights finished, like I say, at 51.42%. So yeah, to see them finishing at 40%, that's statistically significant. That's definitely a lot. It's far enough below the average for it to be unusual.
Yeah, and just real quickly, the Stat Diggers parlay is retired, or we're not doing that anymore. It's cursed. It never hits, so we're done with that. Yeah. The parlay was Fernandez and the over in the Dober fight. So 0-2. The Stat Diggers parlay is dead.
Yeah,
dead, done. It's done. The milking lost. Like I said, this year's been brutal, guys. Just can't get the milking, can't get the piping. Tobias lost the TR Nergos. Holy crap!
I know. Yeah,
got a Suliev stretch though.
Yeah, like on a takedown that he shot with 10 seconds left in the fight.
Yeah,
like he shot 0 takedowns in round 1, so he fought like an idiot.
And then the piping goes down in flames. Thought this was kind of like a free square. No, Dante Johnson did not pipe Cody Brundage. He actually lost to Cody Brundage, and the judges got it wrong, and they gave it to Dante. So brutal all around. But Weezy, you actually had a winning night, so congrats.
Yeah, I mean, like I had a lot of misses though, Brady. A ton of misses on that card. I bet 1 unit on Ranier to Ritter's money line at plus 220. Didn't hate the bet, but I thought Kyle fairly clearly won that fight. I don't know if 30-27 was accurate, but like you can make a case for 30-27 for Kyle. My probability parlay had the Johnson to win in rounds 1 or 2, and the over 1.5 rounds for the Dober and Johnson. That didn't hit. I had a half unit bet on Michael Johnson to win by decision. So that was
looking good. That was looking good for 7.5 minutes.
After round 1, yeah, it was he won round 1, but he got nuked in round 2. And I even took a quarter unit shot on Cody Brundage to win in round 1, because that when he wins, that's how he does win. And it was my way of saying that, like, yeah, I think he could get to, Dante Johnson. The guy's not some world beater, but that didn't come through. I had Cody Durden decision only. I thought if that fight went the full 15 minutes, that I thought that Cody was just a way better offensive and defensive wrestler. He wasn't even that against a guy that was getting absolutely wrestle fucked by Carlos Hernandez. So I was a little bit surprised to see that, but it looks like Tuman Dembro's made a lot of improvements. So, Durden decision only was a loss of a unit. And then I put a quarter unit on Luke Fernandez by decision, which was looking good up until he got nuked. And then I had 1 unit on fight doesn't go to decision for Rosas versus Font. And that, frankly, that was nowhere close. Neither guy came anywhere close to getting their opponent out of there. The wins were 1 unit on Charles Oliveira money line at plus 185, quarter unit on Charles Oliveira to win by decision at plus 1200. And then I had a half unit on Alberto Montez to win by submission at plus 285. So yeah, small 1.28 unit win, but that was a weird card. So on a card like that, just being plus 1 unit, I was happy enough with that, and move on to this one and hopefully make it 2 weeks in a row.
So I gave out the best underdog play of all time last week. Of all time.
So it had to be the Holloway under and significant strikes, right?
The Holloway lower than, it was like 96.5 significant strikes.
Yeah.
Nailed it. Killed it. He had like 20 or so.
Yeah.
I'm surprised he even got 20. I don't know how he even got
20. Right?
Yeah. So that was good, but yeah, all right. We got to get into it, guys. We got 14 fights. Again, we weren't planning on having fun, but since Carrillo gave us a very generous donation, we will definitely have some fun tonight. And again, if you guys sign up on Underdog and use that code DFSBTN, not only will you get $75 free, but Uncle Weezy will tell a story. Where's there it is. Right there. Boom. Check it out, guys. All right. Let's move on. And by the way, somebody asked, on a scale of 1 to 10, how much AIDS did UFC 326 give you? Like a 7. It wasn't. Yeah, like I'd say like a 7. We had fun on the Fight Companion. Like if you weren't on there, I guess it'd maybe be an 8, but at least we had fun.
We did have fun. We had a good time, but I mean, it was rough. I watched a lot of bets lose. Having an under or a fight doesn't go in the Font Rosas fight was like,
yeah.
There was just nothing happening.
It wasn't as bad as having an under in the main event, though.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I hear you. Yeah, we were both kind of struggling with our time bets. Because there was no violence in the main event. There was no violence in that Font Rosas fight, which was a striker grappler fight where somebody should, like when Rob Font was trying to wrap up triangles, I was like, no, Rob, no, that's not what you're supposed to do here. Oh God.
It was almost as bad as Dante Johnson trying to lock up the neck of Cody Brundage instead of just punching him and finishing the fight.
Yeah.
Cody's not Cedric Dumas.
Nope.
All right. Let's see here. All right. So who needs to get some help is actually kind of a lot closer than I thought it'd be, Wheezy. In fourth place was Michael Johnson, 17%, which is kind of crazy because I think Michael Johnson actually might need the most help. Like, did he? Yeah. Is he okay? Is Michael Johnson even alive? I mean, that was brutal. Just the way his head bounced off the canvas looked like that Jeff Neal knockout a couple weeks ago. Like, I don't know if Jeff Neal's ever going to fight again. So yeah, Michael Johnson, fourth place. Apparently, Weezy doesn't need help. Max Holloway, 20%. Rafael Tobias, 25%. And you guessed it, the man that needs the most help, the guy that went to a split decision as a minus 1,000 favorite with Cody Brundage, 38%. Dante Johnson, you need to get some help, buddy. You need to get some help. All right, let's move on to UFC Vegas 114, and we're going to kick it off with a rematch. We got Piera Rodriguez going against Sam Hughes. We got Piera Rodriguez, 33 years old, 5'3" with a 63-inch reach. Sam Hughes, 33 years old, 5'5" with a 64-inch reach. Got the same age there. Piera is going to have a 2-inch height disadvantage and a 1-inch reach disadvantage. We see that Piera Rodriguez is 3-2 in her last 5 fights. She beat Sam Hughes by decision in their first fight. She lost to Jillian Robertson by submission. She lost to Ariana Carnelosi by DQ. She beat Josephine Knudsen by decision. And then she beat Ketlin Sosa by decision in her last fight. As far as Sam Hughes, she is 4-1 in the last 5 fights. She beat Jacqueline Amarim by decision. She lost to Yasmin Haregi by decision. She beat Victoria Dudakova by decision, Stephanie Luciano by decision, and then Shauna Bannon by submission. So it's like this is a rematch, and typically we always say like this, rematches, they don't typically play out the same. Like, for example, Max Charles in the first fight, Charles got hurt and it got finished in the first round. Second fight, Charles dominated Max over 25. And I'm looking at this fight and it's like, how is this fight going to play out any different? I mean, what's really changed between these two? It's like nothing. I kind of see the fight playing out extremely similarly here. So, Weezy, what are your thoughts on this fight?
Yeah, I just watched this one earlier today, and they were very well matched. I mean, I think you could make a case that Sam might have won rounds 1 and 3, but they were both very close. Maybe Piera probably got round 2, but Piera had some success getting a couple of takedowns there, landed some decent shots on the feet, but Sam Hughes was the one kind of pressuring, and the pressure looked great from Hughes in that fight. And now that she knows that Piera Rodriguez was using the takedowns to kind of deal with the forward pressure, maybe Sam can adjust for that and stop some takedowns this time. And if she's able to do that, I think this is like a 50-50 fight. They're very well matched. If you look at, what happened since they last fought, Piera has went 2-2 since then. She lost to Jillian Robertson. She got disqualified versus Carnelosi for the headbutts. But then had a really good win over Josephine Knudsen, a split decision win over Ketlin Sosa. And Sam Hughes, since then, a win over Jacqueline Amarim. She lost to Haregi. She beat Dudakova. She beat Luciano. She beat Shauna Bannon. A couple of split decision wins in there. A lot of close fights. Piera Rodriguez last win, split decision. 2 out of the last 3 wins for Sam Hughes, split decision. So I just think that these ladies are both at a place in their career right now where they've both made improvements since the last time that they fought. Sam Hughes in particular has been fighting at a pretty high level. She's doing a great job out there. And I think that what we saw in the first fight is that the striking is similar. It's just that we saw Piera probably have a little more success winning minutes with the grappling. And we saw Sam Hughes probably doing a little bit better on the feet with that 2-inch height advantage, the 1-inch reach advantage, and the forward pressure at distance striking range. So when I look at the strength of schedule rankings, which I have right here, I've got these ladies ranked within 5 of each other in the 44 fighters that I have ranked in this division. When we look at how these ladies are returning on investment to the public betting on them, Piera Rodriguez 4-2 in the UFC with a 35% ROI. Sam Hughes 6-5 in the UFC with a 40% ROI. So both of these ladies are doing really good. They're both outperforming market expectations, and they're both winning more fights than they lose, Brady. So this is one where I feel like the market has it right, because I think like the striking's 50-50, and I think Piera just has a little bit more upside. She's probably got a little bit better wins at the UFC level, and she's probably got a little more upside to get takedowns and win minutes with top times. So leaning Piera Rodriguez at this point, but these ladies are extremely well matched.
Yep, I agree. I like Piera here too. Like I said, I just don't see what has really changed. I actually really do like Piera. I think she's pretty dang good. Her wrestling's so good for the division.
Yeah,
really like her wrestling, and I think her cardio's kind of gotten better as well. So, yeah, I like Piera to win. This fight opened with Piera actually at -200. She's currently -145. Sam Hughes opened at +170, currently +125. The over/under, I mean, that's a juiced over. -450 to the over and +350 to the under, which makes total sense. I would say I'd be surprised if this fight finished, but it's been a weird year, so maybe maybe one of these ladies do get finished. I don't know, but it should go to decision. It was a unanimous decision last time, 29-28. I think all three 29-28. Unanimous for Pierre. Yep. The fight smells like tuna. Oh gosh, I actually think this fight's going to be more exciting than the Holloway Oliveira fight. Is my prediction. Sam's husband 100% bets on her every fight. Yeah, she said that. She came out and said that, I think, one time. She says that her husband bets on her every fight. Yikes. Can't be doing that. Number one rule in the women's MMA, begrudgingly watch, but do not bet it. Yeah, I might be betting some WMMA today or this week, but just not this fight. Not this fight. We have 3 WMMA fights on this card. Clint is the GOAT. I agree. Big ups to Clint. How did Pierre get a DQ? She headbutted Ariana Carnelossi like twice.
Yeah, well, she was on top, and then she kind of just like put her head down right into Carnelossi's face, and then Tyone says, "Stop with the headbutts. You can't." I don't know if it was him or Smith or whatever, and then she went right back down and headbutted her immediately after being told don't headbutt her. So not once but twice she headbutted Ariane Carnelossi, and Carnelossi played it up.
Yep.
You know?
Yep. Good for her.
Yeah.
The over is what, -4? Yeah, that's what they do. If there's a fight that is clearly going to decision, they're going to make it -450. If there's a fight everybody thinks it's going to finish, the fight doesn't go to be -600. All right, let's move on to the next fight, and it's going to be where is it?
Got to go a little bit to the left. There's extra tabs now on the spreadsheet.
Which one is it? Is it the PP or
the PP is the player profile tab, and that's what I think that's what we'll show. The other one's got the SP's got the stats.
All right, got it. All right, so yeah, Elijah Smith versus Su Young Yu. We got Elijah Smith, 23 years old, 5'9", with a 71-inch reach. We got Su Young Yu, 30 years old, 5'6", with a 65-inch reach. It's going to be Elijah Smith, who's going to be 7 years younger, 3-inch height advantage, and a 6-inch reach advantage. We have Elijah Smith, who is 5-0 in his last 5 fights, had a decision win against Aaron Tao on the Contender Series, a decision win against Vince Morales in his debut, and then a knockout win against poor Toshiami Kazama. Has Kazama woken up yet?
Man, they like that was one of those ones where they were like, Kazama's on his way to the hospital. We'll give you updates when we hear more. Like that was a nasty slam. I remember soon as Smith picked him up, I go, oh no. And I had a bet on Smith knockout. I'm like, and then when he hit the ground, I go, he's dead.
Yeah. I literally thought he died. I always make jokes and say like, oh, that fighter's getting his head, pounded through the canvas. I'm surprised his head didn't go through the canvas, Kazama.
Yeah. That was just absolutely horrible to watch.
Oh, God. But yeah, Su Young Yu, he made his debut against Bard Gang. Jalisili won that fight by decision. I think that was the card that was started at like 3 a.m. and I didn't watch it. He beat AJ. Poor AJ Cunningham by decision. And then he beat Long Zhao by decision. So yeah, I mean, this is your classic striker versus grappler matchup. And Su Young Yu has some striking for sure, but I mean, they call him jiu-jitsu for a reason. He's looking to get the fight down to the ground, and it's an interesting one. Weezy Elijah Smith, he's super young, 23 years old, and I think he's improving at a rapid rate because you look back a couple of years ago, this guy's slowing down in fights. He got finished in his only loss in the 3rd round in a fight that he was slowing down in. He's making mistakes on the mat, but I think he's starting to clean stuff up. And I think this guy could actually be pretty decent. He was able to fight out of multiple deep submission attempts against Vince Morales, which was awesome because I remember how I had like Vince Morales round 2 at something stupid like 20-1, Vince Morales round 3 at like 22-1, something like that. And Morales had him in some deep submissions, but he's able to fight out of them, which is good. So Weezy, what are your thoughts on this matchup? Should be an interesting one.
Yeah, I remember that Smith Morales fight because I think that on that card I was down visiting my brother because it's middle of February is his birthday, and I was visiting him for the weekend, and I think I won like 11.5 units on that card. And the only loss that I had was, Vince Morales money line and Vince Morales by sub at something like plus 800, which I had like a half unit on that. And I had 1 unit on his money line. I could have won like 17 units on that card had Morales finished one of those submission attempts. It would have been amazing. But, Smith does, he's only 23 years old. His father is Gilbert Smith. He was in the Tough House a couple of times, a veteran of the sport. So the guy grew up in a fighting family. He wrestled, but he was also playing other sports. And I think it wasn't until COVID kind of like shut down the sports that he decided to kind of like go full time with MMA. So he's only got 10 professional fights. He's only 23 years old, while Su Young Yu is 30 years old and he's got 21 professional fights. So I think that this is a young prospect versus an established veteran here. Even though these guys have got a similar amount of UFC experience, Smitty's got 2 fights, Yu's got 3. It's Yu who's the much more experienced fighter and has probably fought a little bit better brand of competition, but that's kind of debatable just because obviously Elijah Smith was fighting on a different regional scene with tougher opponents overall than Su Young Yu was. So, Smith's pretty explosive with his striking. He's 5-1 to the knockout, 1-0 to the submission. So yeah, I think Su Young Yu is probably going to be looking to get this fight to the ground, but his striking has looked pretty good so far at this level. It's just that he doesn't throw a whole lot, and he's been fighting a lot of Asian dudes. He's not really fighting like American strikers, European strikers that have, better pedigree for that type of MMA skill set. So him coming over here to Vegas to fight a guy from Colorado, this is going to be a long trip for Su Young Yu. And he's going to probably need to count on having some kind of grappling success against a wrestler in order to win the minutes and bank the rounds of this fight. So I kind of feel like this should be Elijah Smith. He's definitely got a lot more upside. He's a lot better. He's really fast. Like on the feet, he's really fast. His hands are great. So, it's an interesting fight because I like everything that I've seen from Su Young Yu. He's experienced. He's well-rounded. He's got a decent jab while he's standing up. He can wrestle. And then when he gets to the fights to the ground, he tends to be a little bit position over submission. And I like that because that's how you win minutes and bank rounds with that particular part of your skill set. So I think that he could potentially give Smith some problems, especially if Smith can't stop takedowns. And like as of right now, Elijah Smith only showing 40% takedown defense at the UFC level. So there's an open door for Su Young Yu to be able to win some minutes with his grappling in this matchup while keeping the distance striking exchanges fairly close.
Yeah, I mean, it could be dog or pass for sure. Like Smith is minus 205 now, and we have it. Su Young Yu is plus 175. Yeah, it could be a close fight for sure. The fight goes minus 220. The fight doesn't go plus 180, which is kind of interesting for like a striker versus grappler matchup, but I kind of think this fight does go the distance.
Agreed. Yeah, and let's see. Have we seen Su Young Yu be finished before? Let me look. Once by knockout. I don't know when that was. It could have been a long time ago for all we know. He's been fighting for 11 years.
Yeah, and then Elijah Smith got knocked out, but that was, he was, I think, maybe 19, 20 at the time. So,
yeah, and that was against a good fighter in Tracy Cortez's brother, right?
Yep.
Yeah.
Let's see here. We got Artem in the building. What is up, Artem? Let's chase the paper. Let's do it. Isn't that what Brady's stripper said to him? You Su Young. Yeah, that's what she said. I was like 18. She was like 40s at the time. Brother Brady, do we have an underdog sign up tonight yet? As far as I'm concerned, no, we do not. Unfortunately, hit that thumbs up. Just notice only 50% of us have. Only 50% of you guys have liked. Then we're only going to give 50% effort tonight. I think that's
fair. That's fair, everybody. We're just being fair.
Was Smith the one who got the slam KO? Did he ever? Yeah. Did he ever? It was nasty, dude. Nasty. And I agree. I think Smith does have potential. I do think he is getting better. So we'll see. We'll see. I do lean his way by decision, but I think you could be a solid live dog if he's able to get the grappling going. Maybe I'll look at you for a DraftKings because he has the grappling path with the takedowns and maybe some submission upside even. So we'll see. All right, moving on to the next fight. I'm sorry, which one was it? This one, right?
Mosquita Rendone, right?
Yep. Mosquita Rendone. We have Bia Mosquita, 34 years old, 5'4" with a 66-inch reach. Montserrat Rendone, 36 years old, 5'8" with a 68-inch reach. We got Bia Mosquita, 2 years younger. We got Montserrat Rendone with a 4-inch height advantage and a 2-inch reach advantage. We got Bia Mosquita, 5-0 in her last 5 fights. She made her debut against Irina Alexeva, won that fight by second-round submission. As far as Montserrat Rendone, she is 4-1 in her last 5 fights. She beat Tamara Vidal by decision in her debut. She lost to Daria Zelnikova by decision the fight after that. And then she beat Alice Pereira by decision in the fight after that. And yeah, I was kind of surprised, man. Like I never in a million years thought that Montserrat Rendone would get a UFC win, but she has 2 of them.
Yeah.
She has 2 UFC wins. Very impressive. Very impressive. But yeah, I mean, I like Mosquita here quite a bit. She's a massive favorite, though. They're definitely onto it. Yeah, and the ass prop of the week. And you heard it here first. The ass prop of the week, the most ass prop on the board. Remember last week, Weezy? The ass prop of the week was Gregory Rodriguez by submission.
Yes.
Plus 400.
Yeah.
And he was close to submitting Ferreira. I mean, he's pretty close, right? Or no, he was. No, he was not.
I mean, unless you count bouncing somebody's head off the canvas, submitting them, then, he was not close.
The ass prop of the week is Bia Mosquita by submission. It opened up minus 165. Oh God, minus 165 for a submission prop. It has gotten better. It's still minus 135. So on the ass meter at minus 165, it was a 10 on the ass meter. At minus 135, it's like an 8.59 on the. It's still ass because Bia Mosquita has really good ground and pound. Like in my opinion, I mean, Mark Smith. I think it was Mark Smith potentially. He could have stopped that fight against Irina. I mean, Bia was, pounding her head through the canvas. It was a very bad look. If there was like 5 more seconds, that fight would have been stopped. And then, she took her down in the second round and then choked her out shortly after. Bia Mosquita is elite on the mat, an elite BJJ black belt. She has that ground and pound. She's training at American Top Team. She's getting that Florida sun. I think Bia Mosquita is going to get a lot of wins in the UFC. And if she loses to Montserrat Rendone, we have a very, very serious problem here. So I like Mosquita. Rendone does have a 100% takedown defense, but that's against Alice Pereira, Daria Zelnikova, and Tamara Vidal. I think that 100% takedown defense gets tested. And the one time I did see her on her back, it was very bad. She got mounted instantly. And if Mosquita gets on top of you, the fight will be over shortly after. So I like Mosquita, Wheezy, but she's like minus 550. Give me a break.
Yeah, it's rough. And, I mean, how many times have we, watched some of these BJJ players go out there and all of a sudden, like one fight, they forget how to wrestle. They can't get a takedown and they look just completely lost out there. Now, she wouldn't look too lost against Montserrat Rendone, because Rendone isn't exactly Mike Tyson out there, at distance striking range. And, and Rendone actually kind of, when she's winning minutes, a lot of times it's, clinching up. It's, just putting volume on her opponents and maybe getting some wrestling and some top time in her own right. So, yeah, that path isn't really going to be available to her against Bia Mosquita. And I don't think she really offers enough on the feet in order to worry about it. But what I do worry about is if Bia doesn't get takedowns and if Rendone is able to kind of like pressure forward, land some strikes, clinch up and kind of wear on her a little bit, maybe she can keep this close. But this, when you look at who Rendone has fought at this level, Tamires Vidal, she stinks.
Oh,
Zheleznyakova couldn't grapple her way out of a paper bag. And then Alice Pereira, she's 19 years old. She was fighting in Brazilian malls.
Oh,
so I mean, she wasn't really ready to, for a UFC fight. So yeah, I mean, like this, it'll be fun to see Bia get out there and do her thing. She's I believe a 10-time Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu world champion. So it'll be fun to go out there and watch her style on Rendone on the mat, who I believe is maybe like a purple or a brown belt. So Maybe it'll be a Mosquita by decision.
Yep. Like I was
be.
telling you earlier, it's the fuck you Brady play of the week. Be a Mosquita by decision. Plus 300.
14 and a half minutes of back control without finishing the rear naked choke,
Oh my gosh, that'd be insane. Because it's not like she can't like ground and pound you too. So it'd be brutal. But yeah, that's the fuck you Brady play of the week. Be a Mosquita by decision, plus 300. You want to make money? You bet that Be a Mosquita by decision. She gets her first decision this Saturday. Rendone has 100% takedown defense against some of the worst to ever do it, and primarily strikers. Bia by whatever she wants. Yeah, this fight shouldn't be close. The High Owl saying, "What's up, mofos? Who else felt utter satisfaction when Tercios got put to?" Yeah, a lot of people don't like Tercios. Yeah, I mean, I don't hate Tercios, but Bia Mosquita's WikiFeet score, it's 4.14, which is not great.
That's not good.
But she has like 350 photos of her feet on there, which is crazy.
Wow.
Bia is live to pull guard and just sweep Rendone. Also can just take the back on the feet. And I don't think she has like the worst wrestling either. But yeah. So yeah, Bia Mosquita, biggest favorite on the card. She opened up minus 500, currently minus 550. Monster at Rendone opened up plus 375, currently plus 420. Not too often that we see a female fight set at 1.5 Wheezy, but the over 1.5 is minus 185 and the under 1.5 is plus 161. And the fight doesn't go as minus 250. So like I said, if the trend continues here of me getting screwed, Bia Mosquita will absolutely demolish Rendone, beat her by decision, 30-24s, maybe a 30-23, and I'll be smashing my TV Saturday night. We've already had the WikiFeed score. It's part of the handicapping process. I mean, we like to attack all angles here on Stat Diggers, all angles.
We're prepared for every show, you guys. You guys don't know about all the behind-the-scenes preparation that goes into every week's Stat Diggers.
Yeah, exactly. Like I had to subscribe to Eileen Perez's OnlyFans the other week to get some inside information. Yeah.
His wife found out. She wasn't happy.
Yeah, she checked the account and she saw, I think it's like $10 a month for Eileen's OnlyFans.
Yeah.
She's like, "What are you looking at?" And she
like training videos, honey. It's just training videos.
Yeah, she was training her asshole. That's about it. By the way, she called her OnlyFans art. That's some disgusting art, Eileen. That is some of the most disgusting art I've seen in a very long time. That's the type of stuff that'll scar you for life. Looking at that stuff. But all right, let's move on to the next fight. It is going to be Luan Lacera going against Hetcher Sosa. We got Luan Lacera, 33 years old, 5'7" with a 71-inch reach. Hetcher Sosa, 30 years old, 5'9" with a 70-inch reach. Hetcher Sosa, 3 years younger, 2-inch height advantage and a 1-inch reach disadvantage. Luan Lacera is 3-2 in his last 5 fights. Made his debut against Cody Stamann, lost that fight by decision. He got knocked out by Damon Blackshear the fight after that, and then he beat Simon Oliveira the fight after that. As far as Hetcher Sosa, he went out there on the Contender Series as an underdog against Maxim Lee and won that fight by decision. So, yeah, I don't know how to feel about Lacera. I mean, this guy's 33. He's been extremely inactive. Like the amount of time he took off between the Blackshear and this Oliveira fight was like 2 years or something like that. And I remember that fight. It's like, there's no way this guy should be losing to Simon, the ghost of Simon Oliveira, a guy in Simon Oliveira who like almost died, who shouldn't probably be fighting. And I went back and watched that fight, and it's like he was looking good for the most part, but in the second round, it's like he got reversed, ended up on bottom, got taken down, and Simon Oliveira was like pounding his head through the canvas, and Lacera looked tired. He looked exhausted. He looked like he was about to get finished, and then he got an armbar and submitted Simon Oliveira, but I don't think that was the best look. Luan Lacera is very one-dimensional. He's not the best striker, but if he gets you down, he's dangerous on the ground. He has like an 85% submission rate. He's a really good BJJ black belt. Hetcher Sosa, he's a good grappler in his own right. He can mix in the takedowns on the feet. He brings a lot of pressure, has some power, a lot of good tools on the feet. In my opinion, I think Lacera needs a sub to win this fight, and he could get it. Like we saw Maxim Lee get a very deep guillotine on Hetcher Sosa on the Contender Series in round number 1. But if Luan Lacera is not submitting Hetcher Sosa, and I think early as well, don't really like his chances of winning this fight. So yeah, pretty solid fight here. Weezy, what are your thoughts on this one?
Yeah, I need to look a little bit more into Hector Sosa. I only got to see one of his fights over in WOW, which is the Spanish promotion where the Topuria brothers, I believe, are involved with that one. And that's a up and coming promotion there in Spain where they're getting better and better fights and better level of competition, because Spain was a country without much of a regional scene for a while. You know, a lot of those guys were taking any fights that they could find, because they would, you know, like a guy like Daniel Barres, for instance, was like fighting up at 135 and 145 just because he heard, hey, this guy wants to fight you, you know. And at least now you're starting to see some more talent come out of that country. Hector Sosa being one of them at only 30 years old. He's going to be about 2 inches taller than Luan. And yeah, he's a fun fighter. Had a good performance on Dana White's Contender Series. The fight was he was a plus 105 underdog there and cashed. So people, you know, think that this guy's definitely got some upside, because that guy Lee is pretty highly touted, you know, a massive bantamweight.
Oh,
but
6'1".
Yeah, I know. Can you imagine weighing 135 pounds at 6'1"? That's 1 inch shorter than me.
It's crazy.
It's absolutely bizarre. But yeah, you know, Luan Lacera is not bad. I mean, like he's fought some tough opponents. Cody Stamen in your debut is a tough test. Damon Blackshear is a tough test, and he went out there and finished Simon Oliveira. But you know, he had 2.5 years off between the previous fight and the Oliveira fight. So at only 33 years of age in this division, you know, I really worry about Luan Lacera being inactive. And Hector Sosa doesn't have that problem. I mean, if you look at what I have posted there on the screen, you can see that Hector fought 3 times in 2025, and I believe he fought 5 times in 2024. So I mean, like, this guy Lacera has probably got 1 fight over the last 3 years, when Sosa's probably got 10. You know, I think Sosa should beat this dude. But it's a long trip from Spain to Vegas, and you know, it's a UFC debut. And I think he's, you know, like these guys, they get a Contender Series win, like Luke Fernandez, like Rafael Tobias, you know, like DR Nurgajai even. You know, he was minus 400 in his UFC debut and went out there and got submitted. So I worry about laying juice on these debutants, especially against more experienced fighters with UFC experience and UFC level of competition.
Yeah, I'm going to Luan Lacera's Instagram, and what is he doing? I mean, that was me last. Is it not showing up?
No, I don't see it. I just see the stats on the screen.
What the heck? Why isn't it showing up?
Not
Anyway,
sure.
he's shaving his hair all off.
Really?
Yeah, is he okay? That's what I did last night. Just shaved everything off. I don't know why it's not showing up. That's not cool. Do I have to do this? There it is. Look at that. That was me last night.
Just standing in front of a mirror.
Crying.
Crying.
How did the Oliveira decision? How did it go? What? You gotta be kidding. Dante Johnson, what are you doing to me? Look what you're doing to me, Dante. Oh God, no. Oh God. That was me, man. At least he's not crying in the mirror doing it though.
Oh, it looks like this was January 1st. This is New Year's Day, so like this must have been him starting off.
Oh, was it January? Oh, okay. I thought it was. It says 1 week ago. Oh,
it does.
It says he edited it 1 week ago. That's weird. But yeah, he did post it in January. But he edited it 1 week ago. Okay, so I guess his hair's gonna be back. Yep, his hair's back. He's looking good.
There we go.
Really good. All right, let me get this off the screen. I don't know. StreamYard, you pay him $500 a month and giving you all these problems. Oh my God. How do we do this? Somebody's getting fired.
Yeah, dude. Your producer is the worst.
I know. My producer, StreamYard. StreamYard is getting fired. Anyway, so where were we? Yeah, I mean, Luan Lacera, if this fight hits the mat, he's going to be dangerous. Like Hector Sosa needs to mind his P's and Q's. So, but yeah, I do lean the Sosa side. But the debuts crapped the bed last week. They went 1-2. But yeah, I don't think Fernandez is that great, and I think Tobias is horrible, to be honest. Like really bad. I just kind of thought DR was even worse. And
Yeah,
that
I
play was
know.
horrible. It was horrible.
That's what happens when you fade shit with shit. And I mean, like, he could have won that fight if he fought smart, but he chose to strike with that dude who was a better striker. So, yeah, Tobias screwed up. And then I think Fernandez just got caught. You know, I mean, he didn't see that punch at all, so it dropped him. And, you know, I think he would have won that fight more times than he lost it, you know, if it played out 100 times. But,
oh, yeah, agreed. Anyway, Sosa opened up as a minus 200 favorite. He's currently minus 205. Lacera to open up plus 170, currently plus 175. The over-under set at 2.5. It's a pick 'em, minus 110 to the over, minus 110 to the under. Both Sosas by KO parlay. Yeah, I could see a potential Sosa KO here, though. I could see a potential Lacera submission. I could see it. I mean, Damon Blackshear knocked this guy. I remember he pounded his head through the canvas. That was brutal.
yeah.
And Simon Oliveira almost TKO'd him, too. So Eileen Butterface Perez. Oh, God. Lacera to lie dog. He could be. Fire graphics guy. Yeah, he's on the chopping block. How's that guy making 135? Lacera or Maxim?
Maxim Lee, I don't know. I mean,
no sense.
it's got to be talking about Maxim because, like, at 6'1", that's just stupid.
It's stupid. Who the F posted on Instagram that looks like something you do before corn? I don't know. At least I didn't post my thing on Instagram. Just shave it everything. At least I didn't do that. All right, let's keep moving on to the next fight. It is going to be Balagio going against Manuel. It's this one, right? Yeah.
Yep.
Okay. Versus Manuel Sosa. Another Sosa, and they put him back to back, which is
of course. Yeah.
Like why are you doing that? But we got Balagio, who is 30 years old, 5'10" with a 73-inch reach. Manuel Sosa, 28 years old, 5'9" with a 70-inch reach. Sosa 2 years younger. Oki with a 1-inch height advantage and a 3-inch reach advantage. We have Balagio, who is 3-2 in his last 5 fights, had a knockout win against Dylan Salvador on the Contender Series. He beat Timothy Kwamba by decision in his debut, lost to Chris Duncan by submission, beat Michael Aswell by decision, and then lost to Mason Jones by knockout his last fight out. As far as Manuel Sosa, he is 4-1 in his last 5 fights. He had his Contender Series fight against Christian Perez, battled a little bit of adversity, got taken down in the first round, and then kind of broke Perez in the second round. So I really like this Manuel Sosa guy. He's only like 28 years old. He still has a lot of room for improvement to get better. And I love his style. His style is just kind of walking forward, saying, F you, I'm going to take your head off. He's going to swing it to the head, to the body, and he's going to knock you out. Has a ton of power in his hands. He can't be taken down, but I like the cardio. I like the aggressiveness from him. And there's a lot of hype on this guy. And I think a big reason, Weezy, why there's a lot of hype on this guy is he has a knockout win against Mauricio Hufi. And I think that win is aging incredibly. And I think that win's going to continue to age pretty good. And I think that's kind of why we're seeing the line is where it's at. Because I think skill for skill, like Oki's has some skills. Oki's a solid striker. Oki can wrestle. Oki has power. Oki has solid volume. I think Oki's skills are pretty decent. But I'm not sure Oki has the best cardio, which could be a problem here. And I'm not sure Oki has the best durability, which could be a problem here because this Manuel Sosa guy hits like an absolute truck. So I'm leaning Sosa. I was kind of surprised to see the line where it was at. And Sosa went all the way down to like minus 465 at one point, Weezy. And it slowly came in a little bit, which makes sense because I don't think Oki should be like, what was he? He was like plus 365, plus 300 at some point. He's now plus 215. I could see this even getting a little bit closer, but I'm kind of leaning Sosa here. I'm so high on this guy. I think he has a ton of upside, but Oki's a solid prospect in his own right.
Yeah, he is. I mean, like they lined him at minus 650 versus Michael Aswell. He was lined as a minus 150 favorite against Chris Duncan, minus 175 against Timothy Kwamba. And he went out there and beat the brakes off of a really good kickboxer in his Dana White Contender Series fight. So he's went 2-2 at the UFC level. He got caught in a guillotine in the Duncan fight, a fight that he was looking pretty good in before he got snatched up in that choke. And then Mason Jones is a tough opponent for anyone, and he didn't get that one to go his way. And Sosa was the former SFT champion in Brazil, and then he got fights in CFFC. He's got a win over the man Blackie Chan, Trevor Allison. He's got a win over Mauro Chalet. PFL Challenger Series, Bellator Champion Series, LFA, CFFC. The guy is one of these guys that's coming in with a UFC ready resume, and he's got UFC level wins on his regional scene resume. So, and like you said, I mean, how can you not enjoy the way that this guy fights? It looks like he's gonna put on really fun fights here. So yeah, I think this is gonna be a really good one, man, because Balagio is being just a little bit underrated after losing to a tough opponent in Mason Jones. But remember, he was only plus 125 in that fight against, a more experienced and tested Mason Jones, and now against a guy in Sosa who's mostly hype at this point. He's going to be a much bigger underdog. So there could be some value on the Oki side this week because he's a good fighter, explosive athlete, good jab on the feet, and he's mixed in the grappling a little bit. So I think he can keep this fight really close on the feet. I think he's going to be sticking Sosa with that jab as he comes forward. But I don't know if he's going to be able to outlast this dude because this guy Sosa is going to stay in your face. He's going to make you fight him, and you're not going to be able to find a lot of places to rest against this guy, and that could be difficult.
Yeah, I agree. I think there could be some value on Oki. It's just Manuel Souza is just a guy that I just don't see myself ever betting against. I mean, this guy's just terrifying. His style's terrifying. And like I said, he's only 28. It kind of feels like he should be older than that. But no, only 28 years old. So, but yeah, Souza minus 255, Oki plus 215. The line has came in a little bit. The over-under set at 1.5 rounds. The over 1.5 is minus 170. Under 1.5 is kind of is plus 150. I kind of like the over actually because Souza is a guy that's going to kind of break you as the fight goes on. And so over at minus 170, I don't think it's horrible. I can see like a late finish for Souza, I'm thinking.
Yeah, that like he got on Dana White's Contender Series.
Yeah, I think that fight went over. I think he finished him. Yeah, that fight did go over.
Yeah, round 3, and he went, and like Balagio's going to decision with guys like Kawamba and Aswell, so it's not like he's some crazy finisher in his own right.
Yep. So don't mind the over 1.5. What is Souza by KO? I think that's live too. Souza by KO plus 190, not as bad as I thought it'd be. I mean, this guy, it's like a truck. How much KOs does he have? Like 10?
He's got 7. Wait a second. He's got 8 knockouts. So one of them is in a 5-round fight. All the other 7 are in 3-round fights. So 8 wins by knockout, 3 by submission, and 2 by decision for Manny Souza.
There we go. It's Souza. Wrong Sosa. Sosa.
Yeah.
Souza. It's all the same. It's all the same. But he's a beast. All right, let's move on to the next fight. It is going to be my titty back, Oral Boy, going against Chris Curtis. We got my titty back. He's 28 years old, 5'10" with a 74.5-inch reach. We got Chris Curtis, 38 years old, 5'10" with a 75-inch reach. We got my titty back, 10 years younger, same height, and he's going to have a half-inch reach disadvantage. Chris Curtis is 2-1 no contest in his last 5 fights. Had that no contest against Imvov, beat Marc-Andre Barrio by split decision. He lost to Brendan Allen by split decision. He got knocked out by Roman Kopylov, and then he beat Max Griffin by split decision. As far as my titty back, Oral Boy, he has 4-1 in his last 5 fights. He submitted Uros Medic in the second round. He took Elvis Brenner to decision, beat him there. He lost a split decision to Mateus Frambecki. He beat Tafik Musayev by first-round submission, and then he knocked out poor Jack Hermanson in his last fight in the very first round. So, yeah, Chris Curtis, he's getting up there, 38 years old. He's on a decent-sized layoff, coming off of a suspension. And if this fight was a couple of years ago, I think I might take a shot at Chris at these odds. Like, stylistically, he has good takedown defense. He has good power. He has good volume. But this layoff and that Griffin fight was just a bad look. Like, Griffin's like 40, and, you could argue that Griffin won that fight. Like, I'm not sure. I kind of thought that Chris Curtis would make that look easy in that fight. He was like minus 300, and he went to a split decision with the ghost of Max Griffin. I didn't get that. So that fight kind of left a bad taste in my mouth. And it's like, Oral Boy, he's 10 years younger. He has grappling upside. He can mix in takedowns. I think he's very durable. I mean, this guy it's probably impossible to knock this guy out. So I think he's more durable. I think he hits just as hard as Curtis. So I like Oral Boy here. I'm not sure I'm gonna lay minus 265 on him, because I think it could be close if this fight stays standing for 15 minutes. It could be competitive. But I think I gotta pick my titty back Oral Boy with all things considered. Wheezy, what are your thoughts on this fight?
Yeah, I think I like Oral Boy as well. Born on January 1st, great birthday, my birthday, January 1st, I don't know what year, might have been a very long time ago, but this guy's, on paper, 10 and a half years younger, and been a little bit more active lately. Like you said, Chris Curtis coming off of a suspension due to the him and Sean Strickland charging the cage after one of their fighters lost in Tough Enough, and the guy that beat their fighter wound up flipping them off cage side, so him and Strickland came in swinging at him. And so Chris is back now. But yeah, man, the thing about Curtis that worries me more than the 38 years of age, Brady, it's the 45 professional fights.
Oh,
it's the 590 minutes of professional cage time. Almost 10 hours of his life. If this fight goes 10 minutes, he will have spent 10 hours of his life in a cage in his underwear fighting for his life against other grown men his size. So, and a lot of times a lot bigger than him, because he fought up a lot at 185. So, I think that Curtis is somebody who's very one-dimensional at this point. He's never going to win any minutes grappling, so he's anti-grapple, keep the fight standing, and throw a decent amount of volume at distance striking range and outbox you. And land the bigger counters in the pocket. And I think Oral Boy is just going to be walking this dude down. And Chris has always had good takedown defense, but I think it's when you look against who, you begin to realize that somebody like Oral Boy is probably going to make this guy look like he never stuffed a takedown in his life.
Yep.
So yeah, I mean, I think it's going to be close on the feet, but, Oral Boy's 10 years younger than this guy, and he's got a lot more grappling upside. And even if Chris does land a couple of big shots, what difference is it going to make? This guy's got a face like a frying pan, Brady. You're not knocking him out, So, yeah, I think that, Oral Boy, Chris Curtis really doesn't get finished. So, probably the best line would be Oral Boy by decision at plus 150, because Chris is not the kind of guy that's out there getting finished a lot. But this guy's a good fighter. He's one of my favorite up-and-coming fighters right now. I love his skill set. I love his durability. I love the fact that he can go out there and win minutes and moments with his grappling, and his striking is underrated. So I think this guy's going to win a lot of fights in the UFC, and I think this will probably be one of them.
And he's also very handsome as well.
He's a handsome guy. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. I mean, look at him.
Yeah, there you go. Team Alpha Male, stand up. Kyrgyzstan, stand up.
Doesn't get much more handsome than that.
Nope. He's out there just working. He's busting his ass, Brady. He's up and coming. He's probably going to win this fight.
Got that right. So my titty back opened at minus 250, currently minus 265. Chris Curtis opened at plus 210, currently plus 225. The over-under set at 2.5. The over 2.5 minus 150. The under 2.5 plus 130. I kind of like the over 2.5. I'm kind of surprised it's only minus 150. Both these guys are super durable.
Yeah, that's kind of surprising. I don't see either one of them really getting a finish. So minus 150 is not really what I would call overpriced for a fight in this division at welterweight. That's a pretty fair price to me.
Yeah. But this is the week where everything's going to be violence and we take overs and everything finishes.
Yeah.
Did you guys bet Drew Dober when the news dropped? What news?
That was the thing. I hadn't heard any news. I just saw the line moving, but I didn't see Mario Stanfeld's tweet about the GD's kidnapping Michael Johnson's nephew. And I still have no idea if there's any truth to that.
People are saying there's no truth to that.
Okay.
Because that's crazy. That's insane. I mean, that would be a huge story and nobody's talking about it. There's somebody in the chat
that probably would know if that's a crazy story or not. And that's one of our capper friends that worked the really rough streets.
Mm,
And that where I live right now, our
mm.
guy Narco Cop about 10, 15 years ago was working this neighborhood when it was not a safe neighborhood. And yeah, he would probably know a thing or two about some of those gangs that are operating and what they do to make money.
Yeah. Crazy stuff. Chris Curtis is going to raise his hands like he won after getting sparked out cold. He always raises his hands and gets upset at the decision.
Yeah.
I always picture the announcer lady from Pride FC yelling, "Oral by." Yes. And that's a good point. Like, is Oral by the younger guy? I mean, I kind of think Chris Curtis might be younger by thousands of years.
Yeah, he might be, but when you're frozen for all those years, I mean, like sometimes, like that could make your bones stronger. That can make you more resilient.
I guess people are talking about it. Who? Like no like media people. No, like Dana's not talking about it. I don't know. Maybe they're talking about it. I don't know. I try to stay off of X. I made a tweet saying how I was kind of disappointed that the main event didn't play out how like I thought, and people were coming after me saying it was a great fight. So a lot of idiots out there. Well, the line movement, same with Delvi. When that happens, just max bet. I guess so. Why not?
Yeah.
Curtis can make this one close, even though he bitches a lot. This could be a good matchup for him stylistically. Yeah, I guess. I think he can make it competitive, but
yeah, Curtis stuffed a ton of takedowns from a jiu-jitsu guy in Rodolfo Vieira, and then everyone was talking about how Curtis has the best takedown defense on planet Earth. But I mean, I would be surprised if he was stuffing takedowns from Oral by.
Yeah. Can't wait for this card. Guaranteed 7+ finishes. You can't say that. Now it's not.
Just use the G word, the guaranteed word. Oh boy.
Guaranteed. That never works out. All right, let's move on to the next fight. It is going to be oh god. Oh my god. Oh god.
Can we get a 1-800-GAMBLER? Thank you.
This is the 1-800-GAMBLER fight of the century. Not of the week, not of the year. The 1-800-GAMBLER fight of the century. It is Brad Tvaris going against Eric Anders. We got Brad Tvaris, 38 years old, 6'1", with a 74-inch reach. Eric Anders, 38 years old, 6'1", with a 75-inch reach. We got Tvaris, who is 2-3 in his last 5 fights. A decision win against Chris Weidman. A knockout loss to Gregory Rodriguez. A decision loss to Jung Young Park. A decision win against Gerald Mearshart. And then a knockout loss to Robert Brichek. As far as Eric Anders, he is 3-2 in his last 5 fights. A decision or knockout win against Kyle Dawkins. Decision loss against Marc-Andre Barriault. A decision win against Jamie Pickett. A knockout win against Chris Weidman. And then a knockout loss to Christian Leroy Duncan. I mean, this is brutal, dude. It's like I've been saying Brad Tvaris has been washed since the Dricus fight. And the Dricus fight was so long ago at this point. I think the Dricus fight was like back in like 2021, 2022. I've been saying Brad Tvaris is washed, and he's looked washed. He's looked awful in all these fights. Like, here's a little question for you, Weezy.
Okay.
Who is the last win for Bruno Silva, the most washed fighter in UFC history?
Oh, he knocked out Brad Tvaris.
The ghost of Bruno Silva, who's like, I kid you not, he's 1-7 or like 1-8. Maybe in his last 9 fights, that one win comes against Brad Tvaris.
Brad Tvaris, a guy who's been known for being durable, but has still been knocked out 6 different times in the UFC. I mean, that's crazy.
That's crazy. He got knocked out by Rodriguez. He looked bad in that fight. He lost to Jung Young Park. He looked bad in that fight. He looked awful against Gerald Mearshart, but luckily for him, Gerald Mearshart looked even more awful, and then he looked awful against Robert Brichek. It's like, come on. And then, don't get me wrong, Anders isn't much better. Anders got dropped by the ghost of Chris Weidman. I couldn't believe my eyes, Weezy.
Yeah, that was wild.
But what's even worse, he got dropped by the ghost of Jamie Pickett.
The Night Wolf, Jamie Pickett.
He got dropped by Jamie Pickett, Chris Weidman, and then he gets knocked out by Christian Leroy Duncan. I think even Marc-Andre Barrio knocked him down. It's like, what's going on, Eric? What's going on, Eric? So, oh my gosh, like, what do we do here? I mean, I kid you not, I was doing my prediction video today. I usually do it on Sundays, but I need to take a mental health day on Sunday because I've been getting brutally fucked in the ass. But I did my prediction video today on Monday, and I kid you not, I almost predicted a draw because I just can't imagine either one of these guys winning a fight at this stage of their careers. I don't know what to do here.
You got to wonder if there's even going to be like a gentleman's agreement. Hey, like a phone call, Anders guys calls Brad's guys and just says, hey, man, we're both getting paid. Let's go out there and spar for 15 minutes. Let's see who's got the better jab. Let's see who's got the better clinch game, What are these guys fighting for at this point? They're both pushing, Eric's pushing 39. Brad just turned 38 a couple months ago. I feel like if you told me I had to bet on this fight, I would probably bet Anders because I feel like he's got some clinch upside, a little bit more power on the feet. In terms of volume, Tvaris actually throws more volume. I'm not betting on this fight. I'm not doing it. Not doing it, Brady.
1-800-GAMBLER, big time.
Yeah.
Last week, my 1-800-GAMBLER fight was actually the Garbrandt Long Zhao fight. And it played out like a 1-800-GAMBLER fight.
I felt the same way. I sat there after I wrote the fight up, and I'm sitting there going, all right, now who wins? And I'm sitting there going, are you really going to pick Long Zhao to beat a former champion? And then I sat there for like 10 minutes, and then I said, yeah, I guess I am. Long Zhao by decision was my pick. And I was just like, I am not betting on this goddamn fight. I'm not doing it, And the same thing with this one, because you know what these fights always come down to, Brady, and I'm telling you guys, if you're betting on these fights, you're not doing well. And it's when it comes down to this archetype of fight, and it's which guy's more washed. And it's hard to know that. It's hard to know if either one of these guys is coming in with an injury that we don't know about. They would fight with an injury at this point in their career. They're getting paid probably six figures just to show up after as many fights as these guys have had at the UFC level. So, yeah, man, I don't care. I don't know, and I don't care.
Yeah. Terrible. Winner and loser leaves town. Yeah, the first ever winner and loser leaves town match. Absolutely. Bruno Silva took Alex Pereira to a close decision. I don't remember that fight being close, but he did go to a decision, though. Have you seen the clip of someone calling 1-800-GAMBLER after losing 10K on slots, and the operator said this is Burger King? I've not seen that. Anders got dropped by Jamie Pickett. Brady make the sound. Oh, dude, I remember that fight. Like, I remember not betting on that fight for obvious reasons.
Yeah.
And I remember laughing my ass off when Jamie Pickett dropped him. I was like, there's no way.
I know.
There's no way he just got knocked down by Jamie Pickett as a -600 favorite. There's no way.
Yeah, -550 is what my sheet's showing. I mean, -550, and then you get dropped by the Night Wolf. I mean, that's brutal.
Yeah, this makes no sense. I saw that. I'm not betting on this fight, but Anders' finish only is +100. It's like Brad Tvaris has been knocked out 6 times, and he couldn't hurt a fly, Brad Tvaris. Like, when, off the top of your head, when is the last Brad Tvaris finish win off the top of your head? I don't know. I have no clue. Has he ever finished anybody? Maybe I think he has one finish.
I know he's done it once. He does have one KO win since the year 2013.
It was Jocko in round 3. That's what it was.
Jotko round 3 KO. Okay, yeah. The other 11 wins came by decision at the UFC level after the year 2013. So, I mean, he doesn't really have any power, but that's the thing, Brady. You would think that's a good bet, but what if Anders comes out here and is completely hurt?
Yeah,
and he's just showing up for a paycheck. That's a very real possibility.
Yeah, but Brad Tvaris couldn't finish Mearshart.
Well,
how's that even possible? How do you not finish Gerald Mearshart at these days?
Who do you see fucking Jamie Pickett finishing?
Nobody.
Yeah, exactly. And I mean, like, Tvaris, all he had to do was stuff takedowns from Mearshart to get that win, He landed some nice leg kicks against Weidman. Maybe that's how he wins it. I don't know, man. This is terrible.
Yeah. I bet Tvaris if I had to. Well, you have to lay a little bit of chalk. He's minus 135 here. Eric
Whoa.
Anders plus 135. God help us all. The over is minus 175. The under is plus 153. I'd be shocked if either one of these guys got a finish. Brady Weezy, I learned Portuguese this week. Yeah, people had to watch the Portuguese broadcast.
Yeah, I was on that for a while too.
We got Mills coming in here with some insight, Weezy. Andrew's retirement fight, his last fight here on his contract. He's done, by the way, pretty sure. I'll interview him Tuesday or Wednesday. Okay, so I guess this may be the last fight for Eric Anders. I wouldn't be shocked if Loki, I let Brady and Uncle Weezy DP my shit for free.
What? Terrible. Why?
It's the Anders' basic left and broken down body. Not enough here. They're both broken down. It's so bad. Somebody's got to win though. But
it could be Andre Fiallo thinks they're both bums.
I would take Andre Fiallo against both these guys, which is saying a ton. What is the draw here? Yeah, plus 6,600. Yeah, give me the draw. Plus 6,600. They're gonna at the end of the fight. They're gonna be like, no, that was so bad. Nobody won. That was such a bad fight.
Round 3 is going to be a 10-10 round because nobody's going to do any damage.
Every round's going to be 10-10. Every single round is 10-10.
All 3 judges have it 30-30.
Yeah.
This fight is a unanimous draw.
Oh, gosh. Wasn't Anders' pick at the feature prelim? It wouldn't shock me because last week they were featuring Cody Garbrandt Long Zhao for some reason on CBS. Like, I don't know what they're thinking. Dante Johnson's burner in the building. Get out of here, Dante. Get out of here. Dante Johnson's the go. Get out of here, Dante.
Get out of here, Dante.
Oh, gosh. Tvaris never finishes, but he can win fights on points. He could, yeah, he could. Anders is straight trash. We got Andre Fiallo. Yes. Give me Fiallo against both these guys. I don't think either one of these guys is knocking out Fiallo. Bet the draw. I'm with Ver here. We bet the draw plus 6,600 and call it a day. Why not?
Let's go.
Watch it be a draw. You heard it here first on Monday night on Stat Diggers. Draw. All right. So yeah, that was not the featured prelim. Luckily, Weezy. If it was, I mean, it'd be the worst featured prelim in history. But luckily, this is the featured prelim, and it is going to be Charles Johnson versus Bruno Silva. See, this is a respectable featured prelim. Like, this is a fight that should be featured on the prelims. It's Charles Johnson versus Bruno Silva. We got Charles Johnson, 35 years old, 5'9" with a 70-inch reach. Bruno Silva, 35 years old, 5'4" with a 65-inch reach. We have same age there. Charles Johnson with a 5-inch height advantage and a 5-inch reach advantage. We have Charles Johnson, who is 3-2 in his last 5 fights. We got Joshua Van knockout win. We got Sumadarji decision win. Ramazan Temirov decision loss. Lonnie Kavanaugh knockout win. Alex Perez knockout loss. As far as Bruno Silva, 3-2 in his last 5 fights. Submitted Tyson Nam. Knocked out Cody Durden. Lost to Manel Kopp by knockout. Joshua Van by knockout. And beat Sung Young Park by submission. So I have a serious bone to pick with you, Uncle Weezy.
Okay.
A serious bone to pick with you. I think these guys fought, was it 324 or 325? 324, right?
Wait, what are you talking about?
These guys fought on UFC 324, did they not?
Oh, yeah, I think my layoff numbers are wrong for both guys, maybe.
Yeah, Charles Johnson fought like a month ago. So I think it was I think it was 320. Yeah, it was 324. It was 324, right? And I really like Charles Johnson against Alex Perez. And I told you, I said, Weezy, don't pick Charles Johnson. And what'd you do? You went out there and you picked Charles Johnson. Yeah. I had a bet on Charles Johnson. And Alex Perez, who knocks out nobody, knocks out Charles Johnson, who had never been finished. I couldn't believe my eyes. It's like, what the heck's going on? And I can't believe my eyes here at this fight's even happening. Like, Who cleared Charles Johnson? Did they not watch the Alex Perez fight? Did they not watch him take like 2 minutes straight of extreme damage? I mean, he was wobbling across the cage for like 2 whole minutes until the ref finally stopped the fight. Why are we letting Charles Johnson fight just 1 month later? Like, what is that? What is that? I think Charles Johnson is still in concussion protocol because he definitely got multiple concussions. I mean, this guy might show up, looking like Jared Vandera out there. I mean, if this was like Charles Johnson, taking a couple months off, I'd really like this matchup for him stylistically. Like Bruno Silva, he's very dangerous early. He has a lot of power. He's a BJJ black belt, but he does fade as the fight goes on. He's been finished in the 3rd round 3 times. Khalid Taha submitted him. We saw Joshua Van knock him out in round 3. We saw Manel Kopp knock him out in round 3. He does get tired. He does get finished. He's not the most durable fighter. But I'm worried about Charles Johnson's durability, which is something I'd have never said before ever up until the Alex Perez fight. If you're getting knocked out against Alex Perez, there is a durability problem. So I don't know. I mean, Charles Johnson just so inconsistent, Weezy. It's like on his best day, he's beating Lonnie Kavanaugh. On his best day, he's beating Joshua Van. On his worst day, he's losing to Ode Osborne. On his worst day, he's losing to Alex Perez. So, I mean, Charles Johnson just extremely inconsistent. I just can't, in good faith, lay minus 200 on Charles Johnson when this guy is fighting concussed this Saturday.
Yeah, and like when Charles is priced as a favorite, right? He's only 4-4 with a negative 24% ROI.
Oh.
And when he's priced as an underdog, he's 3-2 with an average betting line of plus 221 and a 99% ROI. So that's a way of saying that they're a very high variance fighter, that they're coming through as an underdog, they're blowing it as a favorite. And I mean, Charles Johnson's one of the best examples of that. And we got Dan from Half the Battle in the chat with us right now. I remember one story that he told when he was talking about his buddy Cody Durden after Durden went out there and just ran through Charles Johnson. Durden goes to talk to Johnson backstage and says, "Hey man, you just got a couple of things you need to work on in terms of your takedown defense and stuff." And what does Charles Johnson tell him? "No, man, I'm going to get back in there in a month." That was his, reaction to losing, was that he needed to get back in there as soon as humanly possible. He didn't have anything to work on. It was just a bad day. And yeah, I mean, I don't know what the hell happened. He's one of the most durable guys I've ever seen. I bet on Charles Johnson to win by KO against Alex Perez. And he got knocked out in the first round. I've never seen anything like it. I was just sitting there. It was like one of those days where I was like, yeah, of course, Charles Johnson, who's never been finished before, is going to get finished by Alex Perez. We've been seeing these kind of situations pop up over and over and over again. Dan Ige just got iced in round 1 by Melchizel Costa, So I can't pick a Charles Johnson fight to save my life, Brady. I think I might be 2-11 on his fights at the UFC level. 2-11.
Oh, God.
You couldn't even try. I mean, even if you tried to pick them wrong, if you tried to pick his fights wrong, you'd still probably get 5 right. So I don't know how I do it, but there's no way I'm giving away my Charles Johnson pick for free this week, because it is easily the most profitable thing that you can do is fade your Uncle Weezy on Charles Johnson fights. So join up on the Odds Shopper. I'm gonna research the shit out of this fight. I'm gonna come up with the most well-researched opinion that you've ever seen, and it's gonna be wrong. Really, really wrong. So whoever I pick to win this fight, you bet the opposite and you're cashing a bet.
Can you pick I guess it doesn't matter. I'm not sure I'm going to bet this fight. I kind of don't mind the under, though, because it's like, I mean, Charles Johnson, the durability is in question. He's clearly fighting concussed. And yes, he'd never been knocked out, but he did get hurt a couple times by Temirov. He got dropped and hurt badly by Maxim. And I didn't like how he was reacting to shots against Kavanaugh. So I think it was coming, eventually. But to Alex Perez? What?
Yeah.
Who does Alex Perez knocking out? Nobody ever. So that was weird. And then Bruno Silva's been finished a ton. Don't know the exact numbers. I think he's been submitted a couple times, knocked out a couple times. So I'd be curious to know what the under is in this fight. Let's take a look. The over-under is set at 1.5 rounds. The over, or 2.5 rounds. The over 2.5 is minus 165. The under 2.5 is plus 145. I don't hate the under just because I think both guys' durability is in serious question. Can't bet aside here. I can't lay minus 200 on Charles Johnson, although I do still lean his way. But again, he's probably fighting concussed here. Like, why is he fighting? Why are you fighting, Charles? Why are you fighting? I don't know.
Less than 2-month layoff.
Yeah, I think it's 1 month in like a week. It's insane. It's insane. Your boy plus 114 on DK. They have the script. Oh God. Not the Bruno Silva who took Alex Pereira to a close decision in a shoot fight.
No, it's not that one.
Not that one. Not that one. Put some respect on Vendera. Yeah, I gotta put some respect on Vendera's name. You're right. You're right. Would Medina beat Anders? No, Eric Anders would smoke Jose Medina. Dante Johnson would start Johnson easily. Charles, yeah. I mean, I'd hope so. He's like 50 pounds heavier than him. Johnson is a bum, and his haircut is trash. He's not a bum. He's just so inconsistent. Like I said, on his best day, he's beating Lonnie Kavanaugh, who could potentially fight for a title within like the next year and a half. And then Joshua Van, who's holding the title. Like, it makes no sense. And then he's losing to Ode Osborne.
Yeah. And I thought he lost to Zhalgas Jumagulov. He's losing to Ramazan Tamarov.
It's crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's approaching Michael Johnson status. Durability doesn't last forever. You got that right.
Mm-hmm.
That's a good point. Perez did cheat, man. Perez missed weight, and he was like the third person to weigh in, and he missed weight and didn't even try to cut the weight. He did cheat, but cheaters always win. Unless you're Long Xiao. He didn't win. Could it just be Charles Johnson underestimated Perez's power and got caught? Yeah, could be. Could be.
And after Perez hurt him, he just didn't fuck off. You know, he showed really great finishing instincts when he knew that he had Charles hurt.
Yeah. The commission doesn't care anymore. This week it's CJ. Last week it's Cody. Yeah, Cody probably shouldn't have been fighting either, but Johnson especially, because Cody, he kind of covered up, and it was kind of like a mercy stoppage. Like Charles Johnson got his ass whooped and got hurt multiple times. Brady, don't say the under, please. My bad. It's going over. My bad. We don't have finishes no more. Charles Johnson by decision. You know, it's probably Bruno Silva by decision because the UFC doesn't make sense. Bruno Silva by decision. What's the freakiest shit you've ever done, Uncle Weezy?
Shit, man. I mean, like pretty much everything that I don't remember in college, pretty much.
If somebody signs us up for underdog, he'll tell you. Timarov was juiced still. Yes, he was. Silva is terrible. I don't agree with that. I don't think he's terrible. I just think his durability is not great. His cardio is not great. He's getting older, but he hits very hard for the division, and he's dangerous on the mat. All right, and new and improved probably package is a check mark. Yeah, it looks good, Wheezy. I really like the new stuff here.
Yeah, there's some really great stuff in there in terms of ROI, and then if you hit the SP, take the one right to the right of it. That's all the stats too. And now I'm not just doing the distance stats. I'm also showing the clinch and ground striking stats. I'm also showing the head strike stats. In addition to the significant striking stats, grappling stats, submissions, control time, target distributions. There's a lot of really good stuff on there. Yeah.
Very nice. Was that fight 1-800-GAMBLER or no?
No, that was not. I don't think that's a 1-800-GAMBLER. I've been making a lot of money betting unders in Bruno Silva fights. It cashed I got like plus 250 for the under 2.5 for Durden versus Silva, which was a really good hit. And I think I've hit a couple other times before as well. This guy finishes fights and gets finished.
Yeah, same. I got the fight doesn't go in the Sung Young Park fight. I hit the Joshua Van round 3. I hit the I didn't hit the Manel Cop KO, but I looked at it hard. I looked at it very hard that week and missed it. But yeah, I mean, a lot of his fights do finish for a flyweight. He doesn't go to decision often at all. I mean, has he ever went to decision? Maybe once or no?
Bruno's been a decision 7 times as a professional, and he's lost both of his decisions that he went to in the UFC. But you can tell his last 5 fights have all finished inside the distance.
Yeah, when's the last time this guy's been to a decision? Let's take a look. It was it was all the way back against Tagir Ulanbekov,
2020.
Wow.
Wow.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 finishes in a row. This is the fight that's going to decision, huh? Because I'm probably going to bet the under. So yeah, bet the over, guys. Bet the over. It'll hit. It'll hit. I promise you. All right, let's move on to the next fight. It is going to be the main card opener, which this is a very good main card opener. It's Vitor Petrino going against Steven Aspen. We got Vitor Petrino, 28 years old, 6'2" with a 77-inch reach. Steven Aspen, 27 years old, 6'5" with a 78-inch reach. We got Aspen 1 year younger. Aspen with a 2-inch height advantage, 3-inch height advantage, and a 1-inch reach advantage. Vitor Petrino is 3-2 in his last 5 fights. Decision win against Tyson Pedro. A submission loss to Anthony Smith. A knockout loss to Dustin Jacoby. Submission win against Austin Lane. And then a knockout win against Thomas Peterson. As far as Steven Aspen, 4-1 in his last 5 fights. Weezy, I think you have a typo here. It says that Denzel Freeman submitted Steven.
He sure did.
What?
He sure did.
What do you mean?
Yeah. He took him down in round 1 and beat the hell out of him, and then he finished him in round 2 after he took him down. It turns out that Denzel Freeman is actually a pretty good wrestler when he's not out there against Josh Hokett.
What about Mark Bugelo?
Well, he was winning the distance striking exchanges there, Brady, so he just decided to coast. That's why. Denzel's coming for blood in his next fight. You watch.
He got cut, right?
But yeah, on the regional scene,
okay.
You're going to see Denzel come out for blood. No, did he get cut?
I'd hope so. He got his ass spanked in his last fight. If you get your ass spanked, you're cut. Simple as that. If you get your ass spanked live on Paramount Plus, you're cut. I don't care what anybody says. You're cut. And by the way, Weezy, breaking news.
Okay.
We got 2 fight announcements. You guys ready for this?
Yes.
On UFC Vegas 116, we will have AJ Fry versus Max Jimenez.
Dude, that is a banger. Banger alert. AJ Fry, who lost to who? Got his ass kicked by somebody.
I don't even know.
Was it Sharaf?
No.
Some
guy that's not
Gary Pat.
Yeah, terrible.
Gary Pat. And then the other bum, Max Jimenez, just got ran through by Josh Hokett.
Yep. So that's going to be happening. And then the next one's even better, Weezy.
Okay.
On UFC Macau, May 30th. Puja Tamar. You like to call her Puja.
Puja Tomar, yeah.
Tamar versus Shi Ming.
That's a banger too. Macau, stand up.
What the hell has happened to the UFC?
Yeah, well, there's going to be a Macau card, so you're going to get a lot of the Chinese fighters there. That'll obviously be Shi Ming there. Yeah.
Fair enough. But anyway, so that was a typo then for Freeman. Okay, so that never happened.
It's not a typo.
What? You're messing with me.
It happened, dude. You can get caught sometimes, but Denzel Freeman in LFA was able to get takedowns and submit Steven Aspen. He did do that.
All right, we're doing some jokes tonight, but no, I did watch that fight, and yeah, he made Denzel Freeman look like prime Daniel Cormier. I was what the heck? It was horrible. Yeah, I can't. I hate this fight because it's like I like Steven Aspen a lot. I like the guy's personality. He's a funny dude. He has a great story, but it's like let's build him up a little bit. Let's give him a good winnable matchup. Let's bring back Chase Sherman. Let's bring back Jared Vandera. Let's let Andre Fiallo go up to heavyweight, and let's give him Andre Fiallo. Let's give him Chris Barnett. Let's give him some bomb that he can style on. Why are we giving him Vitor Petrino, who's a legit black belt, who can wrestle? I mean, Vitor Petrino is like probably 20 times the grappler of like a Denzel Freeman. I mean, if Aspen hasn't improved his ground game, his takedown defense, he's absolutely screwed in this fight. So I have to go Petrino. But yeah, kind of a frustrating matchmaking here because I really do like Aspen.
Yeah, and Aspen's a Minnesota guy. He's training over there with Thomas the Train Peterson. So that's who he gets to work on his wrestling with. And he's been pretty open about the fact that that's not the part of his game that he looks to use. But he is working on it constantly. And he says People will take me down, but I will get back up. And a lot of times he does get back up. So we don't really know how much that part of his game could potentially have improved over the last couple of years since he fought Freeman. But that Freeman fight was 2024, Brady.
Oh,
yeah, man. It was just 2 years ago. So, but Freeman is a good wrestler. Like, I think people are just giving Freeman a ton of shit because
he's horrible.
He had a bad win against Bulow, and that guy probably shouldn't have been here. And then he got absolutely destroyed by Josh Hokett. But I think Hokett does that to 2/3 of the division right now. So, like this is not necessarily the worst win that you could have on the regional scene in the heavyweight division. There's a lot of bums out there that are heavyweights. So it's going to be about Steven being able to keep this fight standing. But Vitor Petrino is somebody that we've seen go to the wrestling kind of regularly, and he's had a lot of success with it. Vitor is averaging 3.37 takedowns per 15 minutes, and he's out-controlling his opponents 37% to 9%, winning about 80% of the control time positions in his fights. And I think that he's got more power on the feet, too. I mean, the guy is huge. He was a massive 205er, and he's actually, just about as big at heavyweight. He's still a pretty imposing figure, even up at this weight class. Did you know that Steven Aspen set the heavyweight record for most significant strikes landed in a 3-round fight in his last fight?
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Yeah. That's unbelievable. He's averaging 19.28 significant strikes per minute and 18.94 distance strikes per minute. So the pace that this guy's been able to put on is pretty special. So I think that there's going to be some really winnable fights for Steven Asplund at this level against somebody that can match his power and probably exceed it, and also somebody that has a strength of schedule experience advantage, a UFC experience advantage, and a grappling advantage that kind of stands out here. I think that this is Vitor Petrino's fight to win.
Yep. Agreed. A lot of people on Asplund, though, but the line just keeps getting worse and worse. Petrino's minus 250 now. He was minus 210. So, and on Tapology, it's 50-50, 50% taking Asplund, 50% taking Petrino. But I think 50% of people didn't watch that Denzel Freeman fight. I couldn't believe my eyes. I mean, Freeman looked incredible.
Yeah, he did.
Incredible. Against
and I think Freeman's afraid to wrestle because, like heavyweights get tired when they wrestle, but he wasn't afraid to wrestle Asplund. He did not want to strike with that dude.
Yeah. Vitor is a genuine bum. Well, I got a dare for you. Go if you see Vitor Petrino, I want you to go right up to him, right up to his face. And in Portuguese, I want you to say, Vitor, you're a bum. You're a bum ass bitch. And I want you to report back to me and let me know how that goes. Better start getting in that Portuguese. Vitor does have terrible cardio. If this extends, it's all Aspen. Yeah, if this extends, Aspen could have success. Aspen's cardio is ridiculous for heavyweight. His volume is ridiculous. The question for me is, can he stuff takedowns? Has he improved the grappling? I mean, this guy's grappling looked like Elise Reed not too long ago, but he can definitely make improvements. I really see Jelly Roll finishing the fight when Petrino gasses out. It could happen. Petrino is not great, and I have no idea who Asplund is. Asplund is a very, very solid fighter. I think he's going to win a lot of fights. I just don't love this matchup for him. Yeah, but I slept with his wife. Hey, there you go. There you go.
Milwaukee's a badass.
We got Dante Johnson's burner. Dante, get some rest, man. Get some rest, Dante. Get a 3-round war with Cody Brundage. You need to get your rest, buddy. Go get your rest.
Be right back, Brady. Got to fill up.
All right. Let's move on to the next fight. It is going to be Marwan Rahiki going against Harry Hardwick. We got Rahiki, 23 years old, 5'8" with a 72-inch reach. Harry Hardwick, 31 years old, 5'8" with a 71-inch reach. We got Hardwick we got Marwan Rahiki is going to be 8 years younger. Same height, and then a 1-inch reach advantage for Rahiki. Rahiki is 5-0 in his last 5 fights. He had a knockout win on the Contender Series where he battled a crap ton of adversity. He got dropped like 5 times and found the knockout win in the second round. As far as Hardwick, He has 4-1 in his last 5 fights, made his debut on short notice against Caio Fernandez, and he left getting carried out on like a wheelchair, which was a pretty tough look. But I think this fight's going to be freaking awesome. Why F me, Andre? Why F me? I think I gave you a compliment, did I not? I've been complimenting you all night, Andre. I'm a big fan of you, Andre. But anyway, I think this fight's going to be awesome. I think anytime Marwan Rahiki steps in there, it's going to be an awesome fight. This guy is all offense, 0 defense, 0 takedown defense. He'll let you take him down. He'll get back up. He'll let you hit him in the face. I think he's still very green. I still think he has to make a ton of improvements defensively, but offensively, I really like what I see from this guy. He has a ton of tools on the feet, has a ton of power, and he's down to scrap. I think it's going to be a very fun fight here, Weezy. What are your thoughts on this one here?
Yeah, this is probably I'm when you see these guys with their particular resumes as professionals and they're getting put on the main card in Rahiki's debut and Hardwick coming off one of the worst UFC performances ever, you know that this is going to be a fun fight. So I'm looking forward to seeing these guys scrap. But when I saw Rahiki, what's his money line?
He's a pretty big favorite, minus 265.
This guy was getting the floor mopped with him with some guy with 3 minutes of cardio out of the Congo. The guy was from the Congo, Brady, and he was absolutely destroying him. And Rahiki, I remember like the announcers were like, Rahiki said that he keeps his hands down, but he relies on his head movement. What head movement? There's no head movement. His face is a magnet for punches. So like, I'm worried about this guy because like that fight should have probably been stopped 3 different times. I mean, Rahiki should probably be back in the Australian regional scene right now. If there was any referee but the referee that was in the cage sharing it with him that night, that fight probably gets stopped. And we probably got that Congolese dude in the UFC right now. So Harry Hardwick has got a lot more experience and he's fought the much better brand of competition. And Marwan Rahiki is extremely hittable. So I don't know, man. Like I watched the tape on Hardwick today. I watched a lot of his fights. I watched the Estevam fight. I watched the Wilson fight. I watched the Lopez fight. And then I watched the Fernandez fight. I still have to watch the Javier Garcia fight, which went to a technical decision because of a clash of heads. But I'm actually considering a Harry Hardwick bet for a couple of reasons. Number one, the recency bias couldn't possibly be any worse. So we're getting, a pretty good price right now. He's priced about the same right now as he was against Caio Fernandez, who I think would destroy Marwan Rahiki. And yeah, I didn't like what I saw. And then not only that, dude, where's the tape on Rahiki?
You had to pay for it.
Yeah. So that's kind of messed up. I don't like that. When there's not tape on a fighter and there's no betting lines available on any of his fights, it leads me to believe that he's not fighting UFC level competition. And I know that he's in Hicks fight series coming out of Australia. And that's one that they don't televise their fights. You have to pay for them. So he's kind of a little bit of an unknown for me, but he's coming off a regional scene that I don't know if it's as good as the UK's regional scene. It's definitely similar, but I know that Hardwick's got way more experience, and I really enjoyed watching his fights. He pressures forward. He throws a ton of volume. He digs to the body. He's got phenomenal cardio and phenomenal pace. It's just that he struggles when somebody's got genuine power in front of him. And obviously, Caio Fernandez is somebody that has that, really worked his legs. But Rahiki looks like a skinny little noodle to me. He doesn't look like somebody that's going to have like crazy power at this level. He's crisp, though. I like his striking. I do like his striking, but his defense is so fucking bad. That's not something that you can get away with at this level.
But he's freaky.
Well, he is a freaky dude. He is a freaky dude. And I think laying minus 250 on this guy is a little bit freaky too. But it's going to be a fun fight because I love the way Hardwick fights. He's going to stay in your face. He's going to make you fight him. So I think that this one is on the main card for a reason.
Yeah, this fight's going to be awesome. Rahiki, Opened up minus 200, currently minus 265. And Hardwick opened up plus 170, currently plus 225. I mean, if this was a battle of the nicknames, it might be a pick 'em. They both have pretty good nicknames. Harry Houdini, Hardwick.
Yeah.
And then Freaky, Marwin, Rahiki. I like both those quite a bit.
Yeah, dude. When they rhyme, it's always pretty good. And Freaky Rahiki's a pretty good nickname, man.
I like it, dude. I like it.
And by the way, I mean, like that fight on Dana White's Contender Series was incredible.
It was amazing.
It was incredible. So no wonder they're rewarding him with a main card slot here in his UFC debut. So I think the matchmakers did an incredible job here. This fight might wind up being better than anything on UFC 326.
That's not a hot take. I mean, it should be. Absolutely should be. 326 was awful. But anyway, the over-under set at 1.5 rounds. The over 1.5 is minus 160. The under 1.5 is plus 140. I don't know, man. They're probably going to fight like two rats in a shoe here.
Yeah. I don't think I'd want to play an over. I mean, if I played an over on this fight, I simply wouldn't be able to watch it.
Oh my gosh. Yeah.
Because Hardwick never shies away from a fight. He's just going to stay in your face the entire time. So they're going to go at it.
Yeah, like two rats in a shoe.
Yes, absolutely.
The two rats in a shoe fight of the night.
You got that right, man. That's why it's on the main card.
Hardwick, let's go. Armstrong agreed. Odds are too wide, and the Malumba was not considered a good striker prior to the Dana White's Contender Series fight. Yeah, it's not a good look. Rahiki still has a long way to go. That fight was actually insane. He got rocked to hell in the first round and came back to get a sick finish. That fight was one of my favorite fights of the season, 100%. You had to give Rahiki a huge chance. He was clearly the A side. Don't let the name confuse you. Harry Hardwick is not Damian Penis level.
Our dick.
Rahiki by KO. Hex is a pay-per-view. Yeah, it's annoying. I'm not paying for that. You got to be kidding me.
Yeah.
You're kidding me. Hardwick has fought the much better competition, 100%. Yep. Harry Lane kick hard. He has a bad look. I mean, they wheeled him out on a wheelchair. Poor guy, man. Poor guy.
It was a rough night at the office for Harry Hardwick, who took that fight on short notice and just, I mean, it was one of the worst performances of all time. But trust me, when you go to the fights before that, you're gonna see some really fun Harry Hardwick fights. The guy's fun to watch fight, and I think this is gonna be no different.
What's worse, Harry Hardwick getting carried out on a wheelchair, or Herbert Burns crying and getting carried out by Gilbert Burns?
Oh yeah, from exhaustion, right?
Yeah, what's
from exhaustion?
Yeah, from exhaustion. What was worse?
Can I add a third?
What?
How about getting Ezekiel choked from the top position if you're Dr. Nurgajai? I mean, I swear if you go watch that footage, Urine Salty Baldiev is actually laughing out loud as he's tapping. So, but I would say that it would definitely be getting carried out of the cage due to exhaustion. Because that happened to me a couple times in judo, but I was 40. You know, I was 40 years old, you know, and I was exhausted. I'm trying to go with these young bucks, 22 years old. Yeah, no, it wasn't working well for me, but I'm not a professional fighter, so I think it's definitely more embarrassed to get carried out due to exhaustion.
There we go. Oh, Max Roskopf, yeah.
That was Harmless Hubbard is as Dan likes to call him.
Yeah,
Austin Hubbard, Harmless Hubbard.
He is harmless.
Well, not to Max Roskopf. He's not harmless.
You got that right.
He was Thud Hubbard in that fight.
Yep. Yeah, Ding Dong, Donnybrook.
Yes, sir.
Got that right. All right. Let's move on to a fight that, in my opinion, could be just as good, if not better, than the last one, because it's a Jose Delgado fight, which Jose Delgado, Weezy, was the very first ever piping of the week.
That's right.
He went out there and he piped poor Connor Matthews on site, and he did it in the first round. So I'm looking forward to this fight. We got Andre Fili. My bad. Andre Fiallo.
Now you know Philly's losing.
We got Andre Feely, who is 35 years old, 5'11" with a 74-inch reach. Jose Delgado, 27 years old, 5'11" with a 73-inch reach. Delgado is going to be 8 years younger and is going to have a 1-inch reach disadvantage. Andre Feely, 3-2 in his last 5 fights. Had a knockout win against Lucas Almeida. Got knocked out by Dan Ige. Beat Cub Swanson by split decision. Got submitted by Mel Costa. And then got a decision win against Christian Rodriguez his last time out. As far as Jose Delgado, 4-1 in his last 5 fights. He knocked out poor Ernie Juarez in the Contender Series. He knocked out poor Connor Matthews. He knocked out poor Hyder Emil. Yeah. And then he went and lost to Nathaniel Wood by unanimous decision. I don't know. I kind of thought you could have given that fight to Delgado. It was a very close fight. And I was actually impressed with that even though he lost, I was kind of impressed with Delgado because this is a guy that pushes a hellacious pace. Like that round 1 versus Wood. And by the way, I bet the fight ends by knockout there. They were fighting literally like 2 rats in a shoe. Both guys hurt each other multiple times. The fight almost got stopped on multiple different occasions. I don't know how that fight went 15 minutes, but it did. But it was nice to see that even though Delgado has never won a decision, he was able to still in that 3rd round kind of, fight through it and have some even success in the 3rd round. So, this guy Delgado is an animal. He can come forward. He can knock you out. He can take you down. He has a submission game as well. He has solid cardio, which is pretty good for the style of fight he fights. And I think this is going to be an absolute war. I think this is going to be one of the best fights, if not the best fight on the entire card, Weezy.
Yeah, and what was even more impressive about the fight for Delgado against Wood was the fact that was in Abu Dhabi. So he had never even left the country, I believe, to ever fight before, So now you're flying all the way to Abu Dhabi and you're going from guys like Ernie Juarez, Connor Matthews, and Hyder Emil is a tough opponent. But now you're getting, Nathaniel Wood, who's got something like 8 or 9 UFC wins, and you have to fly all the way to Abu Dhabi to take that fight. If Delgado wasn't ready to fight at this level, we would have seen him probably go off a cliff in the last 7.5 minutes of that fight. Yeah. When you think about the travel and then you think about the level of opponent and the way that Wood fights, he fights with a lot of pace. He's got really good and he's well-rounded. He can test you in all areas of the fight. So I thought that was a really impressive performance too. And a lot of people agree that he probably should have maybe even gotten the nod in that one, but it was close enough. So going 3 hard rounds with Nathaniel Wood, I think that's a really good thing in Abu Dhabi. And he's almost 10 years younger. He's 8 years younger than Andre Feely. And they're at completely different places in their career right now. And I just feel like Delgado is going to knock this dude out. We've seen Feely get, finished 6 times at the UFC level in his losses. And, obviously the Mel Costa submission loss was just weird, and then when you look at the wins, the last 2 wins are split decisions. And then the win before that was a knockout over Lucas Almeida, who's probably not quite UFC level at this point. So, yeah, I think that Delgado's career arc starts to take that positive look after the tiny blip that, in my opinion, showed me that he is ready to start taking on this middle half of the division here. Because you look at Andre Feely's division rank for strength of schedule. Look at that, dude. He's ranked 10th out of 78 there in the middle of the page. This is a guy who's got 25 UFC fights against guys with a 56% win percentage, and about 13.5 UFC fights a piece on average. So Andre Feely's been out there for a very long time against an above average level of competition. So Delgado taking that step up again. And we're going to see how he handles it. But right now, I don't know. Where would you say in the cage is Feely better than Delgado right now?
I think Feely might have a better taste in women. Feely's a really big fan of big booty Latinas.
But has Jose Delgado ever suggested in any interview that we know of that he isn't a fan of big booty Latinas? He happens to be a Latino.
That's a good point.
So like right there, that's, the statistics thing is, you would know this if you had studied statistics, that Just because you know one of the inputs involved does like big booty Latinas, the missing information on fighter B there doesn't necessarily mean that they're not on the same page as Andre Fili on that.
Yep, that's a good point. But to answer your question, where is Fili better? Experience, level of comp, and that's about it. Definitely not durability.
Yeah.
I don't even think. I think Delgado might even have the better cardio than Fili at this point. Better submission defense. I mean, Fili, what was that in the Mel Costa fight?
Yeah,
I mean,
know.
It's like he tried to get tapped out. We got to ask Dan. What happened there? Dan, what happened? What was that? That was terrible. Yeah, he's not the better striker. I don't know, man. Nothing.
If you're getting submitted from guillotines from the bottom, you're not supposed to be in half guard or side control, right? Like, aren't you supposed to not be getting submitted from those places?
The worst part was he got out of it and then he put himself right back in it. I couldn't believe my eyes.
Yeah,
But,
that was
the pace in the Delgado Wood fight was insane. This guy Delgado outlanded Wood in the first round 68-24, attempted 111 significant strikes. That's insane. And then Wood outlanded him 36-29 in the second, and then Wood outlanded him 39-37 in the third. Still high output all throughout the fight, but especially early on. So yeah, I like Delgado here quite a bit. I wish he was at a more playable number. Looks like a very popular parlay piece this week. His line's getting kind of steamed. He opened up minus 300, went to minus 210. He's currently minus 340. As far as Fili, opened up plus 250, currently plus 280. And Weezy, I'm going to be doing the very first ever, the Fuck You Brady play of the week. The Fuck You Brady play of the week is Bia Mosquita to go out there and win her very first decision, 30-24 against Montserrat Rendone. And then for Jose Delgado to go out there and win his very first decision against Andre Fili, who's been knocked out like 5 times. That's the Fuck You Brady play of the week, because I almost certainly, Weezy, will probably have like a Mosquita inside the distance and like a Delgado inside the distance. So if you guys want to make some money, the FU Brady play of the week, Mosquita, it's plus 300 for both those. Not bad.
Yeah, my model on the Delgado side, where the inside the distance, the KO, the sub, and the decision are all listed. My model's favorite play is the decision, my friend.
There you go. The FU Brady play of the week. Last week, you would have cleaned up with Charles Oliveira by decision, plus 1,200, and Dante Johnson by decision, plus 600, 700.
Oh God, it was at least plus 550. It was
crazy.
A big number for a guy that was minus 900 on the money line.
Insane. But yeah, I think Jose finishes him as well. Jose won the Wood fight. Yeah, I thought he won too. Potential piping here. Potentially, we could see Fili's going to sleep. Good bounce back spot for Delgado. I would tend to agree. This is a good question. Do we know if Fili is planning on throwing the fight?
I don't have that kind of information, man. We got to start getting finding out who the gangster disciples are trying to kidnap.
Yes. Do I nuke Delgado KO or first round? I don't know. I mean, it wouldn't shock me if Fili tapped out and cashed a big submission ticket, went to the steakhouse the next day. I think Delgado has like 4 subs, right?
Delgado, what does he have? It's right there on the page. So Delgado, overall wins, 4 wins by submission, 6 wins by knockout. Never won a decision in his career
until this weekend.
Yep. Because the guys that beat him were Makate and Wood, and Makate wrestle fucked him, and Wood was a very close fight.
Yep, because we do not get finishes anymore. Sneaky smart play is the over. What do they have it set at? The over under is set at 2.5 here. I don't know. Over 2.5 plus 140. Under 2.5 is minus 160. Yeah, it probably hits. It shouldn't, but it probably hits.
Yeah.
Who isn't a fan of big booty Latinas? I don't know. I'm a massive fan of big booty Latinas. Catch Aware is technically a BBL.
No, she's not.
No, she's not.
You got to have a big booty in order to be a big booty Latina, and she does not have a big booty, so she's not technically a big booty. Get the hell out of there with that. You get out of here with that.
Yeah, get out, man.
You get the hell out of here.
Get out. Get out.
Ruin it for the rest of us.
Ruining
You
it
know
all.
what that is? That's Dante Johnson's burner account. That's the guy that keeps calling Dante Johnson. You get out of here with that.
Get out of here, Dante. Jeez. That was Feely being Feely. Once a flake, always a flake. Yeah, man. Yeah. The FU Brady play of the week. I mean, that's going to pay big, man. That's going to pay big this week.
FYB.
Jose has knocked down all of his opponents. Will he continue his streak in the UFC? I would assume so.
I think so. I mean, he's got a lot of power.
Is Brady a Latina? Because he would be a big booty Latina. I actually have like no booty at all. And no, I'm not Latina or Latino or nothing like that. All right, let's just move on to the next fight. We have, oh gosh, Iwan Cudalaba going against Umarc. We got Iwan Cudalaba, 32 years old, 6'1" with a 75-inch reach. Umarc, 30 years old, 6'5" with an 84-inch reach. We got C, 2 years younger, 4-inch height advantage, and a 9-inch reach advantage. We got Iwan Cudalaba, who is 3-2 in his last 5 fights. He knocked out Tanner Boser in the first round. He lost to Felipe Lins by decision. He beat Ivan Erzlan by decision. He beat Ivo Aslan by submission. And then he lost to Modestas Bukauskas by decision. As far as Umarc, he is 4-1 in his last 5 fights. He beat Tuka Tokos in his debut by submission in the first round. He took Dawoon Bum to decision. He lost to Alonzo Menafield as a -900 favorite, pulled a Dante Johnson there. And then he beat poor Brenton Ibero by first round TKO. So yeah, Weezy, this is an interesting fight. I like the skill set a lot of Umarc. That the problem is, like, holy crap, dude, what are you doing? Why are you not taking down and finishing Dawoon Bum, who got submitted by Carlos Olberg, the kickboxer? Why are you not taking this guy down? Why are you not taking down Alonzo Menafield? And why are you doing absolutely nothing on the feet? It's like he's so hit or miss. Like, he looked incredible against Tokos and Ribeiro, but, what are you doing, dude? This guy, I'm not sure if he has the best fight IQ, because in this fight, he should be going for takedowns. Cudalaba off his back, it just looks horrible. Like, I remember the Johnny Walker fight. Johnny Walker took him down, was just destroying him on the mat, took his back and submitted him. Teixeira took him down once in the second round. The fight was over shortly after. If Umarc can get on top of Cudalaba looks very bad on bottom. But my concern is C might strike with this guy. And then I have concerns on the Cudalaba side. I have 3 concerns on the Cudalaba side. The first one is this guy's fight IQ is horrible. The second one is cardio is horrible. And then the third one, I think, is game off bottom is horrible. I don't know, man. I like C here. I think he has all the tools to not only win this fight, but look like a massive favorite. But if he goes out there and fights like he did against Menafield, he might even lose that fight. Same thing with the Dawoon Bum performance. So I don't know. What are your thoughts on this one?
I think that Umarc might have fallen in love with his hands a little bit.
Oh,
and that's terrifying because this guy's such a good grappler in a division that has no good grapplers. So like I think that this guy could absolutely make a huge run in this division. And it's not like the market doesn't agree. He was -450 against Tokos.
Oh.
He was -600 against Dawoon Jung.
Oh.
And then he goes out there and loses as a -900 favorite. -900 against Alonzo Menafield. Why?
Oh.
Because he didn't wrestle. Because he just sat. And it was the same thing in the Dawoon Jung fight. He got like a takedown late in round 1, I think, and got about a minute and a half of control time. He got another takedown in round 3 and got like a minute and a half control time. But the other 12 minutes, he was just kind of happy to sit there at distance striking range and test out his ability to win minutes at, against UFC level opponents. And when it worked for him against Dawoon Jung, it seemed like he wanted to do it again against Menafield. But here's the thing. He didn't wrestle at all in round 1, Brady. He goes out there in round 2 and gets a takedown and controls this guy for 4.5 minutes. And then what does he do? Round 3, 1-1 fight on the judges' scorecards. He goes out there and he strikes with this guy.
Oh, God.
and then the very next fight against Ribeiro, he's actually a smaller favorite against Ribeiro than he was against Menafield. And then he goes out there and does what he's supposed to do, and he destroys him.
Mm-hmm.
So, which are we going to get the Umarc that's falling in love with his hands? Because if that's the case, Iwan is going to be able to keep this fight somewhat close. And Iwan can wrestle a little bit in his own right, into offensively, but he's shown 75% takedown defense at the UFC level over a very large sample size of fights. He does out-control his opponents, but he has given up some control time. And if a grappler the level of Umarc gets on top of this guy, I think he's going to finish Iwan Cudalaba. He's never had the best submission defense. Iwan has been finished at this level 7 times, Brady.
Oh, God.
4 times by submission, 3 times by knockout, and that's in 10 losses. So, he's pretty easy to finish, and I think that if Seed, is able to get to top position, he should be able to do that. But the cheapest price we've ever seen Umarc priced at was minus 455, and that was against the worst opponent that he was faced up against, and that was Tuco Tokos.
So the first ass prop of the week is Be a Mosquita by sub at minus 165. The second ass prop is Umarc by sub plus 210. Give me a break.
Yeah, that's terrible. His decision is plus 265 and his knockout is plus 350. So even the market's kind of having a wait. What did you say the sub was?
210.
Okay, I was gonna say I thought you said something lower than that. I'm like, I had it at 210.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, 4 submission losses by submission, 3 losses by knockout, and 3 losses by decision. So pick your poison. Iwan Cudalaba can find multiple ways to lose fights.
Yeah. It all comes down to Umarc. If he takes down Cudalaba, he's going to destroy him. But if he strikes with him for 15 minutes, this fight's going to decision, and it could be competitive. So it's up to Umarc. And it's terrifying, man. Like, this guy could pull Melissa Mullins this week.
I thought I had the lines wrong. I can't believe C is only minus 235.
I said that exact same thing in my prediction video. I'm like, I kind of thought that C would be a much bigger favorite here.
If he's minus 900 against Menafield, if he's minus 600 against Da Un Jung, those are probably both better fighters than Iwan Cudalaba.
No, not Da Un Bum.
I don't know, dude. I don't know.
Menafield for sure is better.
Yeah, Menafield. But I don't know, dude. Iwan Cudalaba, he's not that great. I've bet on him a few times. I've cashed on him a couple of times. But I remember when he got the submission against Aslan. It was the first ever submission he's ever gotten at this level.
Yeah, it was. First ever one he attempted, too.
Yeah.
Yes, his grappling's horrible, dude. It's terrible. So we'll see if C fights like a dumbass. This could be the Melissa Mullins spot of the week. We're about to find out. This Saturday. I look like a Latina. First of all, a Latina is a woman. So you're saying I look like a woman, which no, I don't. That's insane. 500 likes and Uncle Weezy's getting a BBL. Deal.
Let's go.
Excited to see how C takes one decision. We don't get finishes anymore, so probably. And by the way, the over-under set at 1.5. The over 1.5 minus 150. The under 1.5 at plus 130. The under 1.5 was at plus 153, and that kind of piqued my interest a little bit in a Cudalaba fight, plus 153, but it's been hit down to plus 130. I love Cudalaba. Yeah, he's an exciting fighter.
Yeah.
Can we see Cudalaba play possum again and get KO'd? You never know. You never know with Cudalaba, man. You never know. What is going on over there, Brady? I don't know. Nothing's going on. I hate Umarc, never trusting him again. Yeah. Yeah, he screwed me in the I didn't bet on him in the Menafield fight, but I think we did pick him to win by milking. I think he was the milking of the week that week against.
Yeah, he might have been. Yeah. I can't believe he didn't win that fight.
But I'm pretty certain I bet like a finish prop on him against Daun Jung, because it's like, take this guy down and sub him, dude. Like, it's like, why are you not taking down and subbing Daun Bum? Like, they call him Daun Bum for a reason.
You call him that.
No, they call him that, Uncle Weezy. They do, not me. Not
It's
me.
like it's like how I said after Charrier lost, I was like, everybody's calling this guy the last butt pirate. I was the only one that called him that, like.
Oh gosh. Yeah, it could be milky. All right, guys. We're going to move on to the co-main event. Before we do so, we're gonna take a quick word from our sponsor, and that is Underdog Fantasy. Where's it at? It's coming.
It's coming up, you guys. Stay
5,
tuned.
4, 3, 2, 1. Another head hangs slowly. Child is slow.
You can make picks on Underdog right now. It's easy to play. Just pick higher or lower on your favorite players in all your favorite sports. Track your picks live while you watch the game. And if you get it right, you can win up to 5,000 times your money. So join the millions of fans who are already playing on Underdog. New customers get $75 in bonus entries when you play your first $5 play. Underdog. Make picks, win money.
Did anybody sign up? Like, I want to hear an Uncle Weezy story. Did nobody really signed up and use that code?
Damn.
It's free money.
Man, well, you know what? I'm going to write down in my notebook that those are the stories that I've got teed up. U of I walkout. And then there was Texas.
Yeah, no signups, guys. You don't have any friends? Nobody has any friends? Text your buddy.
Yeah.
It's available in 40 states.
I mean, tell them that, you've got one of the great storytellers on all of YouTube ready to tell drug-fueled college stories if somebody just signs up. And, I mean, you're going to get stuff, too. Not just the great story, but you're also going to get $75 in bonus funds. All you got to do is pick higher or lower on 2 or more fights.
Yeah.
There you go. It's all right there for you. It's all right there.
It's like $75 and an Uncle Weezy story time? Really?
At
least you tried.
Thank you for trying.
At the very least, just try. At the very least, just try, guys. Just try. All your friends are in the chat. That's fair. That's fair. All right. It is time now for the co-main event, and it is going to be Amanda Lemos going against Jillian Robertson. We got Amanda Lemos, 38 years old, 5'4" with a 65-inch reach. Jillian Robertson, 30 years old, 5'5" with a 63-inch reach. Robertson, 8 years younger, 1-inch height advantage and a 2-inch reach disadvantage. Lemos is 2-3 in her last 5 fights. Decision loss to Zhang Wei Li. Decision win against Mackenzie Dern. Submission loss to Verna Jandaroba. Decision win against Yasmin Lucindo. And then a decision loss to Tatiana Suarez. As far as Jillian Robertson, 4-1 in her last 5 fights. I believe she's 5-1 in the strawweight division, 4-1 in her last 5 fights. Decision loss against Tabitha Ricci. Knockout win against Pauliana Viana. Decision win against Michelle Gomez. Decision win against Luana Pinheiro. And then a knockout win against Marina Rodriguez. Weezy, this was a fight that was supposed to take place a couple months ago. And I think it was Lemos that pulled out, right?
Yeah, it was herpes. Herpes and it was like the day before the fight, or maybe even on weigh-in day. She just didn't get cleared because of the cold sore on her lips. So had to kick the can a little bit down the road. So now it's Lemos hasn't fought since September. Jillian Robinson hasn't fought since May of 2025.
Jeez, herpes. That's not good. Well, Balagio had herpes and he looked phenomenal last week. So
yeah, man. It depends on when it's showing itself, because when it's not, you're like Superman.
Yeah. Who's the chick that had herpes on her ass? Was that I think it was Daria Zelnikova.
Yeah, I think it might have been Zelezniakova or some. It was
Zelezniakova.
Okay.
Herpes all over her ass, and she still fought. But yeah, what are your thoughts on this fight, Weezy? I hope we get to see it this time.
Yeah, striker versus grappler, Brady. And Lemos has always had ass takedown defense. Here are the numbers. Amanda Lemos allows 1.43 takedowns per 15 minutes and has shown only 64% takedown defense. And she's allowed 39% control time to her opponents. So, 4 out of 10 seconds almost, she's getting controlled either on the fence or on the mat by her opponents. And she's faced some of the best grapplers in the division. So, but where Jillian, I think, really struggles the most is when she's fighting somebody with power that can stuff her takedowns. So this is going to be about Lemos, having to show some fight IQ for once, which I don't like her fight IQ. I don't like her takedown defense. She seems to re-wrestle in situations where she should be as far as humanly possible from grappling against these types of opponents. People like Virna Jandiroba, people like Mackenzie Dern. She's been in there against some of the best. Weili Zhang just absolutely blanketed her for several rounds and beat the hell out of her. So the path is just wide open for Jillian Robertson. But when you look at the type of opponent she's losing to, it's Amanda Lemos. It's somebody that can actually cause problems with the power that she possesses at distance striking range. She's just going to need to deal with that pressure. She's going to need to use her footwork to be circling, making sure that Jillian doesn't get into top position, because if she does, it's really hard to get her away from there, and you might potentially get finished as well. So I think Jillian by decision, because Amanda's been out there against better grapplers than Jillian and been able to survive. So I think that this one is probably going to see the scorecards, and I think it's going to be Jillian Robertson by decision. But if she can't get the takedowns, man, Amanda's going to be putting it on her with those Bs, because she's got serious power at distance striking range.
Yep, I was going with Robertson in the first booking. Nothing has changed. Yeah, Robertson opened at minus 250, currently minus 195. Lemos opened at plus 210, currently plus 170. Over under set at 2.5 rounds. The over 2.5 minus 170. The under 2.5 is plus 149. Yeah, ass herpes. It's something you don't want to get, man.
Nope.
Something you don't want to get. We got Emery in the building. What is up? What's up, Emery? I don't have any friends. Oh God. I spent all my money trying to help my buddy get his nephew back from the gangster disciples. There you go. Hopefully they got him back. My gosh. Jillian by sub, locking in. We don't get finishes in 2026. I doubt she got it from Balagio. Yeah, I doubt she got it from Balagio too. Dudakova had staph on her vulva. Oh my gosh.
That's what it was. It was Dudakova. It wasn't Zheleznyakova.
Oh, okay. Victoria Dudakova. You can't get staph on your vulva. What's a vulva? Isn't that a vagina?
Yeah, it's part of it.
Oh my gosh.
It's a part of it. Yeah.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah, that's nasty. That's rough getting it there. My God. Yikes.
Yeah. Oh my gosh. All right. Let's move on to the main event. Before we do so, let's check these likes. Let's check them up. All right. 115.
That's pretty good, dude.
It's good. I like it. I bet she has a cute labia. All right. Let's move on to the main event. We have Josh Emmett going against Kevin Vallejos. We got Josh Emmett, 41 years old, 5'6", with a 70-inch reach. Kevin Vallejos, 24 years old, 5'7", with a 68-inch reach. Vallejos is going to be 17 years younger, 1-inch height advantage and a 2-inch reach disadvantage. Josh Emmett is 1-4 in his last 5 fights. Submission loss to Yair. Decision loss to Taporia. Knockout win against Bryce Mitchell. Decision loss to Lerone Murphy, and a submission loss to Eustace Salau. As far as Vallejos, 5-0 in his last 5 fights. He knocked out poor Cam Teague brutally on the Contender Series. Knocked out Sungwoo Choi by knockout. He beat Danny Silva by decision, and then he knocked out Giga Chikadze. Yeah, I mean, this fight kind of makes no sense to me. Josh Emmett, 41 years old, in the featherweight division. Like, what's going on here? Josh Emmett, 1-4 in his last 5 fights, and he's getting a main event spot here. They're clearly trying to build up Vallejos and give him a name here. This should be Vallejos and be Vallejos all day. I mean, this guy Emmett took a lifetime's worth of damage against Taporia. I'm not sure how he went the full 25 minutes, but he did, and probably lost 20 years of his life along the way. I mean, that was just kind of hard to watch. Lost to Murphy and then gets submitted by Zalama in a minute, which was wild. But yeah, this should be Vallejos. He's minus 650 now and climbing. Emmett's plus 475. I'd be pretty shocked if Emmett won this fight, Weezy. What are your thoughts here?
When you've got these guys on the roster that have 16 fights like Josh Emmett, who have main evented several times. How many times he main evented? Let me look real quick here. 5 times Josh Emmett is main evented in the UFC, or, been a co-main event potentially with a 5-round fight. So this is going to be his 6th. And what you do when they get to be to the point where they're no longer a threat to, get big wins in the top 10, you just start feeding them to prospects. And you start building those prospects' names off of the guys that you have to pay a bunch of money to show up. So you really aren't going to pay them to show up against some other veteran bum, unless it's something that the fans really want to see. You're going to put them out there against a guy like Vallejos, who's 24 years old, who's on a long win streak here since he lost to Gene Silva in Dana White's Contender Series. But he's stepping up a little bit again in competition with Giga. He got another washed veteran now in Josh Emmett, who's just turned 41 years old last week on the 4th. You're getting another guy who has never really been a well-rounded fighter. He's got a wrestling background, but he never used it. He's a solid enough striker, but he never really, he's not like a big minute winner at distance striking range. But he is 6-3 to the decision in the UFC. But what he really does, when he does well is land with power. He's been exposed on the mat before by better grapplers. He's been outworked and outpointed by better strikers. But what Josh Emmett really does when he's not fighting somebody that's elite, he can knock them out. And when he's fighting somebody that's elite, he can knock them out too, because he has that kind of power, and power is the last thing to go. So Josh Emmett can still be dangerous at 41 years old, because it's not like Josh can't wrestle anymore. He never did. It's not like Josh can't go out there and win rounds with his striking anymore, because he never really did. He's gonna win. Either he's a knockout or bust guy at this point in his career, and he could knock out Vallejos because the guy has got pretty good distance striking defense, but he can take damage, and he's willing to take one to eat one. So there is a path here for Emmett. Land a bomb. Maybe land 3. Land 1 in round 1, round 2, round 3, and then don't get finished in rounds 4 or 5. I don't know, but he's knockout or bust at this point. It's hard to come up with an argument for Josh Emmett to win minutes against Kevin Vallejos, who's 17 years younger than him. Where is he going to win the minutes? Clinch? No, we never saw Josh do that. Is he going to go out there and shoot takedowns like he did against Hot Sauce Holtzman 10 years ago? No, probably not. So it's probably going to be Vallejos just landing the bigger shots at distance striking range, probably even mixing in the occasional takedown. And I don't know if he's going to finish Emmett or not, but he probably will find eventually the shot that makes Emmett quit.
It's going to be tough to finish Emmett. Like, Emmett doesn't really get knocked out outside of the Stevens fight back in the day.
Yeah, and Jeremy Stevens is one of the hardest hitters that's ever been in the division.
Yeah, it would be a feather in Vallejos' cap if he can knock out Emmett when Topuria couldn't for 25 minutes. Yeah. Topuria landed like 150 on him.
Yeah, I mean, like Topuria, I remember that 5th round was hard to watch, but Topuria was absolutely putting him through a meat grinder. I mean, he was kicking his ass. So it's unbelievable, because Emmett still looks in great shape. He's 41 years old in the featherweight division. It's not like it's a 41-year-old heavyweight. This guy's out there fighting featherweights, and now they're feeding him to a 24-year-old. It's a tough road to hoe, Brady. Road to hoe.
It certainly is. Vallejos opened at minus 500, currently minus 650. Emmett opened up plus 375, currently plus 475. I'm kind of surprised how juiced to the tits the under is. Like the fight doesn't go plus 1, or the fight doesn't go minus 200, minus 275 on some books. The fight goes plus 160. Over under set at 3.5 rounds. It's about a pick 'em there. So yeah, I kind of think it's Vallejos, probably by decision, probably a tough fight to watch. Might have to turn it off. It's gonna be so tough to watch. I don't know why they're doing this to poor Josh Emmett, man.
Well, he's going to get paid a shit ton of money just to show up. So that's why they're doing it, because it's an investment. You know, you're going to use this old man as an investment to build the prospects that you want to build right now. And last time it was Yusuf Zalal. The time before that, it was Laron Murphy. Now this time, it's going to be one Kevin Vallejos.
Yep. I would say I'm curious to know what like the spread the spread on Vallejos is, because I think it could be either like a finish or like a 50-42, but I'm assuming it's just awfully priced.
Yeah, I mean, his money line is minus 650, so you're probably not going to find a lot of discounts anywhere. Yeah. Minus 325 for the minus 5.5 point spread. So they are on to it.
Let's go. Love it.
The Vallejos finish only minus 550.
There we go. Yeah. I don't know what we can really do here. What is Vallejos by KO?
Vallejos by knockout is priced at minus 105.
Oh, then you're going to be smashing your TV when Emmett won't go down.
Or God forbid he submits him, because Emmett's been submitted so many times. Vallejos submission plus 650. Maybe that's how you do it.
Oh, God. Jeez. Yeah. Give me Vallejos to get it done. All right, so what do you guys like into this main event? Anything? Kevin by KO 1. Josh Emmett gets some help. Yeah. Kevin KO 3. If Gene Silva couldn't get Vallejos, I mean, Vallejos has a heck of a chin on him. Both guys do, but especially Vallejos. Vallejos sinks or swims. I think he swims. He's like minus 650. Emmett is old. Yeah, Emmett's 41. 41, man. And he took a ton of damage against Topuria. I like goes to decision and plus 200. I'm assuming, Weezy, that might be a pretty goodly priced line, considering it's a featherweight fight.
Yeah, well, it's plus 160, because when I entered it, it was minus 250 for the fight doesn't go, and plus 200 for the fight goes.
Yeah, on some books it's still plus 200.
Oh, is it really? What's it on Bet Online? That's what I always put in.
Plus 160, but on Bet Rivers it's plus 200, and then on Bovada it's plus 200. So Bet Online has the worst line on it.
Well, 3 of 5 Josh Emmett fights have seen the scorecards in 5-round fights, and 44% of 5-round fights in this division actually do see the scorecard. So it's a trifecta bet on my template, but we've never seen Kevin go 5 rounds at the UFC, so we don't know how much finish upside he's going to have at this level in these 5-round fights.
Yeah.
Could be a lot.
Could be. All right. We did it. We went through all 14 fights.
I know. Next week's 14 fights as well.
Next week we're not having any fun though. So next week it'll be like.
Oh yeah, that's right. Shout out Carrillo.
Yeah, Carrillo saved the night, guys.
Yeah,
Carrillo saved the night. So did Forrest, Bub Collins, Marcus. You all saved the night tonight. Seriously did, guys. All right, so we're scrapping the Stat Diggers parlay. It's cursed. It never hits. Usually, if it does hit, it's because a fight fell off, and then it hit only one leg. So Stat Diggers parlay's dead. But what's not dead is the piping of the week. The piping of the week is not dead. Last week we got it so wrong. I mean, we did our job. We picked Dante Johnson to pipe Cody Brundage. Yeah, that was the right pick. We did our job.
Yeah.
Dante Johnson did not do his job. Dante Johnson went out there and lost to Cody Brundage instead of, pounding away, and getting a second round TKO. He was searching for the neck for 3 minutes, and Cody was kind of holding onto the arms. And we did our job. Dante Johnson did not do his job, but we're going to do our job here tonight, and we're going to cash this piping of the week. So we got some options here. We certainly have some options. Let's go through them. So, yeah, nobody's getting piped in the Rodriguez-Hughes fight. Manuel Sosa is a guy that is known for piping, but I also think that Oki's getting a little bit underrated there. My titty back is known for some piping, but Chris Curtis is very durable. Don't know if I love that. Delgado is known for some piping. I don't mind that one. And then Vallejos could potentially pipe a 40-year-old featherweight. So I think it's kind of between Vallejos or Delgado, to be honest. I don't really see a ton of piping options, really.
Agreed. Yeah, and I think there's some good milkings on the table there, but yeah, I would be fine with either Delgado or Vallejos here.
Let's go Delgado because he was the first piping of the week ever. Let's run it back.
Nostalgia. For nostalgia, we're going with our first ever piping, and he made it look so easy back then against Connor Matthews. This is going to be a step up in competition, but it looks like he's ready to go. This kid's the real deal.
Andre, touchy. I wonder if he's touching those Latinas.
Oh, man, he loves that. Do you remember that picture I posted on Twitter of Feely absolutely cooked in the apex?
Yeah. There it is.
Oh yeah, if you search my Twitter account for Andre Feely, you you will find one of the hilarious pictures. Like I saw it, when they were moving the camera around the apex and he was in there, and I actually rewound it, paused it in like 3 or 4 different spots to find the most cooked expression, and like it was just so funny. So I don't mind betting against Feely because it looks like that dude, when he is not actually in training camp, might be partying ass.
Yeah, with those Latinas, man. Gotta love those Latinas. All right. So the piping, I like the piping this week, man. I mean, it's gotta happen. It's gotta come through. All right, now it's time for the milking. Last week, the milking couldn't have went any worse. It was Rafael Bipolar Tobias to milk that bum this Saturday. It turns out Tobias was that bum. So yeah, that did not come through. So we got to redeem ourselves here, Wheezy. And we got some milking options. I mean, Via Mosquita could potentially go out there and milk Montserrat Rendone. Hector Sosa could potentially milk Luan Lacera over the course of the fight. We could see Jillian Robertson go out there and milk Amanda Lemos. We could see a potential milking in the Aspen Petrino fight. We could see a potential milking in the C Cudalaba fight. And we've actually picked C to milk before he kind of crapped the bed. Could he redeem himself here? We got a lot of options here, Wheezy, for Charles Johnson could potentially milk Bruno Silva, but I am worried he is still concussed. So what are you thinking, Wheezy? We got a lot of options to choose from.
Yeah, I mean, like, obviously Mosquita's a good shot, but she's minus 550. I like Umarc. I mean, whenever that guy wrestles, he kills his opponent. It's just that he only did it in 2 out of 3 rounds against Da Un Jung, and he only did it in 1 out of 3 rounds against Alonzo Menafield. So I'm worried about that guy kind of falling in love with his hands. But if he hasn't done that, if he is fighting smart again, he's going to kill Cudalaba. And then Petrino, I think, he's poised to milk Stephen Asplin because that guy does not have a UFC level ground game just yet.
Yeah, I like both those. We go C to get a redemption, potential redemption here for C.
I'm surprised because I think, like I said, he's been between minus 450 and minus 900 in every fight. And now we're getting him at minus 235. I think it's especially coming off of one of his best performances. So I think maybe that'd be a good play this week.
Yeah, this is going to be the fight that has us absolutely yelling at our screens. If you guys want to watch our reactions turn into the fight companion on Saturday, because you're going to hear us yelling at Umarc, and then Umarc, of course, will be getting some help Monday night and in 1 week. I can feel it because it's so easy. It's like, take him down. This guy, Cudalaba, can't grapple. Take him down. Submit him. TKO him. Get him out of there. All right, so the piping Delgado, the milking C. I like these this week. I like these. All right, now, so we're not doing the parlay. It's scrapped. It's dead. But we are going to do the underdog play of the week. Right now, if you go to underdog, use code DFSBTN, you'll get $75 in bonus funds when you play with your first $5. And I don't think we're going to find a better play than Max Holloway lower than 95 significant strikes. But let's try to find something here.
I know I got something I really like.
Then we'll take it to you because I'm still looking.
Okay. Harry Hardwick higher, 19.5 significant strikes.
Wow, what the heck? Why is that so low?
I have no idea. I just think that people think that this guy Rahiki is just going to get him out of there immediately because of what Kali Fernandez did to poor Harry Hardwick in the last fight. But this guy Rahiki, he's. I mean, I don't think he's some killer yet. And big step up in competition. Big strength to schedule advantage for Hardwick, and Hardwick throws a ton of volume. So he could hit 19, he could get 20 significant strikes in one round. So I really like Harry Hardwick higher, 19.5 significant strikes. What's the leg that's closing this out for a win for us?
Oh, God. So they don't have finishes on there yet. They don't have fight time on there yet. Yeah. So it's just takedowns and significant strikes. All the takedowns are set at 1.5. Let's go to takedowns. Yeah, Mosquita 1.5, Sosa 1.5, U 1.5, My Titty Back 1.5, Silva 1.5, Petrino 1.5. So many 1.5s, Wheezy. I mean, gosh. I don't know, dude. I don't know. I think
it's a tricky one for sure.
Like Mosquita, I think she can get a take, but I might only take one takedown for the fight to be over. In the Mosquita fight.
She's got that good of wrestling, and well, not wrestling, but the Brazilian jiu-jitsu, obviously.
God. I don't know, man.
You know what's an interesting one? Chris Curtis's significant strikes is set at 60.5.
You know what? I kind of like the higher there.
I kind of like the under just because I think Oral Boy might wrestle, but I'm kind of because like Chris Curtis's volume is actually underrated a little bit. He lands 6.16 significant strikes per minute at distance and lands 5.88 significant strikes per minute. But Mick Tebek Oral Boy only absorbs 3.3 significant strikes per minute. So at that rate, you know, he would only absorb about 50, but it depends if he gets the wrestling going.
Yeah, I kind of think it's going to stay on the feet. Give me My Titty Back higher than 45.5.
Ooh, yeah. I like that.
Like, why is that lower than Curtis's by 15? That's kind of crazy.
Yeah, because I do think that he could absolutely win the fight, and usually the winner gets more significant strikes. So
yeah, that doesn't make sense to me. So I'll do that.
All right. Higher than 45.5 for Oral Boy, higher than 19.5 for Hardwick. I'm putting it in.
Sounds good to me. All right. Those Brady Latinas, yeah, man. Gotta love them. Kevin Vallejos could pipe Emmett. He could. Delgado, potential piping. Dante, hey, don't talk crap about Dante. He's very sensitive. He's very, very sensitive. I don't want him getting upset. So don't try not to talk about Dante Johnson, guys. What? That's a good point. Jillian or Bia for potential. Yeah, I think both those ladies can milk for sure. I could see it. But C needs to redeem himself.
He does.
Yeah, Jake. I mean, Charles Austin couldn't get cleared a couple weeks ago, but now he can. Like 2 weeks later. Yeah, 2 weeks later.
You're laying minus 200 on this guy. It's scary. God.
Let's cash him, Gus. All right. We did it, guys. Somehow we went 3 hours on this card. It wasn't supposed to be a fun show, but it turned out to be as fun as we could possibly make it. Uncle Weezy, any final thoughts on the card? And then also let the people know where they can find you and support you.
Yeah, I mean, my final thoughts will come a little bit later on this week after I'm done researching all the fights and writing them up. But yeah, you can find me on X at MMA Weezy. You can find me on YouTube and Rumble, Uncle Weezy. And you can find my probability stats and content package, which has access to everything that you're seeing here on the page. The in-depth statistics in cage on the SP tabs there. The AS tabs for every fighter have complete fighter profiles on every fighter, over-under betting models, prop betting models, fight write-ups, access to the Discord, access to 4+ hours of subscriber-only content with balls deep breakdowns from Uncle Weezy, and as well as Probability. Greatest place to support my work is on Odds Shopper. But thank you, everybody, for watching, tuning in. Let's stack cashed tickets like flapjacks and turn this. We got to circle the damn wagons, Brady. 2026 is not off to a great start. We got to circle the goddamn wagons and find some winners on this card.
I know, man. I know. We'll see. It's all up to Pia Mosquita and Jose Delgado this week, man. Turn it around. Go out there and do your job, damn it.
Bet both of them to win by decision, and you'll be up 6 units on the 1 unit bets on each of them.
Parlay it up. Parlay it up. Gosh, I wonder what that would come out to. Plus 300. That's a big parlay, dude.
Yeah, that is like plus 300 times plus 300.
Wow, plus 1,500.
Yeah.
Wow.
It's like 0.0625. It's a big hit.
And then bet I won Cudalaba too, because I really like C this week. What else do I like? This week? We'll see. A lot of spots are sticking out. A lot more than last week is sticking out to me. So yeah, man. Liking it. This is gonna be the week. And then we got London next week. God help us all. Best of luck, everybody. We'll talk to you soon. And good night. See ya.